Oh, now she's gone. Well, welcome in. Miami Spice, how are you doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. We can. I told you it would work when we go live. Mel left. I don't know what
Where'd
happened.
Melissa go? Oh, she went looking for me. That's what it was.
Oh, well, she's around here somewhere. Rabbit, how are you doing? Mucho taco. I had Taco Bell tonight. I had a really good taco at Taco Bell too. Look at this. Look at
There she
this.
is.
Hello.
I
My
love it.
internet just went all weird. I apologize.
I just said you went looking for me, and you found me.
It just died.
Ta-da!
Oh no.
I'm surprised I got this thing working tonight. Rick's
Yeah, I
Clicks,
had to
how are
close
you
my
doing?
tab and then get back in.
Oh, I had to reset the computer right when it was time to go. Squad Bob, Texas Jen, where are you? Oh, look at this one right here, guys. The Michael Malloy Show.
Nice.
Guess what? Guess what I have? Michael Malloy, Playboy Malloy T-shirt arrived yesterday. It is
Awesome.
in the laundry right now.
I love it.
I am so excited. So anyway, Jim with No Filter, how are you doing? Well, I'm trying to go. Deb, how are you? It was Snoopy Spirit was what I was trying to remember. You're now Deb Mormore and Junior too. It was Deb Mormore and Snoopy Spirit. And look, Miami Spice, she's everywhere. Look at this.
I
Is
am
that not crazy? Is that not awesome?
really everywhere.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Mr. Malloy. Gotta hurry up and catch all these guys. Anyway, y'all, thank you for coming in. Sparky, how are you doing, bud? I saw part of your stream tonight, and somebody said you mentioned something. You mentioned I did something stupid, and you mentioned it. I don't know what it was, but I hope you had a good time, man. Uh, Lady Autumn Sky, how are you? I feel like we've seen a lot of this. Chat just seconds ago when Dictionary Diva, how are you doing? Just seconds ago when Melissa Jane was being interviewed by the very beautiful and talented Tish in Tennessee. Miami Spice, did you see any of that?
Yes, I saw it all while I was cooking.
Crafting Emily. What did you cook tonight, by the way, Miami Spice?
Salmon and a sweet potato.
Sounds yum.
I don't
I
like
know you don't
either
like
though.
fish.
No, I don't like sweet potatoes or
You
fish.
don't like sweet potatoes either?
No.
You're
No,
a
I don't
crazy
like
person.
I don't like the yam. Keith Gregory, how are you doing? United States Navy right here. Hold on, wait, where'd my you know I always have the flare here ready to show, but it's somewhere it's gone now. I have a George Washington, USS George Washington Zippo, which is probably good. One of the Angels probably came and took it so they wouldn't have to hear it in the stream. But Keith Gregory, good to see you, buddy. Well, that's awesome. Oh, Super V, how are you? You guys see how I get distracted? Don't you love being on here
Yep.
with me? Uh, yeah. So she did awesome. I thought. What do you think, Miami? You thought
Melissa
she did
did
bad?
wonderful. No,
Oh,
what? Of course
I was
not.
so.
Did you
What was
see
just
what I
going on?
posted in
So,
Discord immediately? That Tish and Mel had a great show.
oh,
So,
it was
thank you
fabulous.
guys.
It was fabulous. Tish is a great person. What do you think?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you hear that? Sweet potatoes are amazing. Did you hear that? My
They are.
voice just cracked. I'm reaching puberty, y'all.
Oh, it's a very wonderful
it's about
time in your life.
it's about time.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Madcore, how are you doing, brother? Um. So anyway, Mel, what'd you think? So you got to be on a stream with a fellow Tennessean.
It was awesome. I loved it. Tish is absolutely amazing. So it was a great honor to be on there.
Well, it was good on this side watching you guys. You have a very good stream. It was man, I was amazed. It was you guys had some numbers popping up there, and I was like, this is just awesome. Like I always was Tish say she is always worried, whether you have one, none, or 100, you do it the same. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't want to have none. I've done that. I had those days. So I'm always going to be there for everybody if I can remember. But yeah, I thought it was a great stream.
I learned a lot.
Yes, it,
I thought, I know a lot about you, Melissa, but I learned more about photography, which was very interesting. And you make it look so easy, and it literally is something that you not only have to have, I think, an innate talent, but you also have to have some education behind it to
Yeah.
grow that talent. And you're amazing at it.
Oh,
I can just
it's
take
so
pictures
funny
of my
because
dogs.
so many
That's it.
people like pick up the camera and like, I'm a photographer now, and I'm like, okay, okay.
I'm
I'm just talking about people that will like pick up a digital SLR and go shoot weddings, and then they take photos. I don't know how good the photos are, but you know.
I have no idea what you just said, but it sounded really very
Ignore me.
professional.
Ignore
No,
me.
you can tell.
I'm having a whinge about my profession that people pick up a camera and think
No,
they're a
it's great.
photographer.
No, I mean you're using like, acronyms and so photographer speak. I don't know what you're saying. So I barely know where the camera button is on my phone.
You have a button?
Well,
I
there's
have
the
like
little
I've
camera.
just hit the
icon.
screen a bunch of times.
Oh, well, you can
I
do
don't
that
know.
too.
Well,
And I miss so many good photos of the dogs. But today I got a good one.
Aw.
Did you see that one?
Yes.
Stella
yes.
falling
Oh
asleep.
my god.
That was so funny. I look over, she's like totally
She's like
sitting
the
up
cutest
asleep.
thing ever. She's
Well,
like
they're
the
really
most like
enjoying.
prettiest dog.
Yeah, they're enjoying their freedom for sure. They're being very good, and they've learned very quickly about their correction fence, and they love their new freedom. So it was late
I love that,
getting
the
on here.
correction fence.
That's what they call it in the instructions. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, oh gosh, even the dog fences are now politically correct. We can't say what
Correction
the
fence.
really it's
I love
the
that.
correction fence.
The White Rabbit will be emailing that company saying, "Can I get one of these for my husband? I'm correcting him all the time."
That'd come in handy.
That'd be awesome. Man, hang on a second. Check this out. Hang on.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm trying to push buttons here.
I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
The
I
past
think that pushing
master.
buttons would come easier to you by now.
Oh, I can push buttons. It's just
Oh, boy.
never
Yeah.
The right
yeah,
one.
it's never the right ones or the good ones. But the past master, good evening, the expert and panel and all in the chat. Always good vibes here, everyone. Just wanted to show some love. Don't ever change. Hashtag real one. I appreciate that, the past master. We are, we're not going to change. We talked about that a lot. It's we don't want to. It's a very I guess from the beginning I've always said no drama because I can't keep up with it mostly. I couldn't imagine that, trying to keep up with who you like and don't like. So we just have a good time. It's all great, and
Untube.
yeah, it's fun
Absolutely.
too. It's fun too. Miami, was it you that called it fun tube the first time?
Sure, I'll take credit.
Well, you're supposed to say that a little bit more demanding. Like, yes, I did. It was fun.
Of course. Well, I just,
Yeah.
I don't want to steal your thunder. If you said Fun Tune first, I think I just caught on. I know I did the PG-16. That I definitely take credit for.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. But I don't know. I say so many things. I don't know. That's where I saw Sparky in there. I was like, Tish sent me a message and said he said something, was quoting you or something. I was like, well, what did I say? I don't remember anything. It's just so many words. There's so many words. I try to get through them all. I feel like a word might feel left out if I don't say it.
Sure.
Wolfkinder, how are you doing? Well, you
Hi,
all
Crafting
rock,
Emily.
and I
It's so good to
appreciate
see
you.
you.
The past master, you rock, and thank you for being here. Yeah, Crafting Emily. I like Bobby, but don't like Andy. Oh, the drama. Crafting Emily. I love her, but she's mean to me.
Why? Why would
Sometimes you need some
anyone be
correction.
mean to you?
I don't
It's
know.
okay.
I'm
Crafting
glad you
Emily,
asked
it's
that.
okay. Maybe
I'm
she
glad you
holds
asked that, Mel.
control to your correction fence. Perhaps.
Well, do you remember when the Idaho was it Brian guy was arrested. She trolled me. She told me that he lived next to the Scranton Strangler, which is a fictional character from The Office.
So,
And
totally
I
bought
talked
into
about
that
that for
too.
an hour. I talked about it for an hour.
Okay, I bought into it too. I had no idea. I was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah. I was like, why would you do that to me, Emily? She did it. She had a good time.
Because
And
it's
that's-
FunTube. It's FunTube.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm trying to. Oh, you can see there's the mini eggs. I was eating those earlier. I got caught eating those things. But anyway,
How many bags of those did you buy?
I know, I was gonna say, how much do you have?
just one. It's still the
Is
same
this
one.
like a giant bag?
No, it's like 18 ounces. It's
I
small.
don't know what that. Yeah.
In America, there's 16 ounces in a pound. A cup has 8 ounces.
I know carb.
I don't know what to tell you guys. In Tennessee, it's about a sitting. You have one at a sitting. You eat a bag
Is
at
that
a
really a
sitting.
measurement? That's a measurement?
Yeah, everybody knows that. That's Fall Storm. Look, there's Dictionary Diva. She knows what a sitting is. You eat it. You had it. Like, how much fried chicken did you have? I had some at a sitting. I had a sitting full.
That's
Oh, come on. I'm not on my own here, am I? Texas
I
Jim
think
will back
so.
me up.
No, she's saying it's like a 5-pound bag of
5
gummy
pound.
bears. I was going to say that, but she's. Twin
Yeah, that's like a
Jen.
sitting. That's a sitting.
Yeah, we're going with 5-pound bag. Or you got more than one bag. For sure.
Backwoods Logan, how are you doing, bud?
Hey.
Backwoods was on earlier playing Spider-Man. I was like, dude, man, like I hate that whenever he does something, it's always like right now he's on Twitch, and so it's like I'm always on the wrong platforms. So, remember, Backwoods came in around the Kylie Rodney stuff when Ryan Upchurch stopped by and stuff, and so anyway, I've been following Backwoods. I actually got on a Instagram to follow him. So, yeah, I like today I'm scrolling through YouTube and it shows him. He ended by 3 minutes, so I gave a shout out to him. Backwoods, good seeing you, buddy. Anyway, evidently I have a lot going on. I don't.
You're everywhere.
Miami, would you like to take over the conversation, please?
Okay.
You have something better. You have something better than I do. I know.
Do I have something better? Let me think. What's going on in the world today? It was nice that I just popped over to Mr. Malloy and said hello. That was nice because I was somewhere else today and I heard that he was asking for where was Texas Jen and I. So then I felt bad. So I needed to run over
Oh,
there.
I
I've
haven't
been
popped
very
in on
busy.
him for a while. I have
I
to
know.
do that.
what,
So
time was,
work.
what time was Malloy on today?
I don't know about this morning because he normally tries to do twice a day, but he was on right before you, and then he told everybody to come over here and see you because you're such a great guy.
Oh, I don't know about that one now. Yeah,
So-
but I'll take all of that. The White Rabbit's not here right now, so yes, I am a great guy. Let me tell you, I am so. Like, I'm a giver. That's what it is. I'm a constant giver, and
Would the dogs agree?
Of
The
grief.
brown dog. Would the dogs agree right now? Are you a giver? Are you taking good care of them? Everything's going okay.
they've had dinner.
Well, that's good for
Well,
them.
Yeah, that's a start.
Yep.
And I can't remember if I gave them their pills or not.
See, that's why I asked.
We're gonna say, well, it depends. Right now they're being good, so the answer is yes, I did.
Okay.
All right.
If they start misbehaving, then no, I didn't. And we'll
my
get some Benadryl in tonight's. Blue Dog has a degenerative hip structure, like the balls in her hip joints. They're not
Yes.
round, and so it
Hip
was going to be.
dysplasia.
Yes, that's what they say. That's the word.
Yes.
It's a big word.
Yep. Yep.
And it was going to be a big surgery, and we were getting ready to do it. And the vet said, "What about we try some gabapentin?" which they started doing for dogs, and it's a narcotic for humans.
Gabapentin.
And yeah, what'd I say?
I think you put an extra letter in there. It's all right. It's okay. Remember, I know a few things about it, some things. So
Well, that's awesome. I like
know.
that.
Well, I was going to ask
Hey.
if you Rimadyl, but gabapentin, huh? Okay.
Yeah, Rimadyls was let's see, hang on a second. Backwards Logan also took a break because I had to work a lot in March. But March I'll be making a lot of content. Oh, awesome, Backwoods. Yeah, I've got to get my Xbox. I've got the new setup going, and Xbox is definitely set up great for Twitch. I'm trying to get the Nintendo Switch. I want to play some Mario Kart. White Rabbit said she played Mario Kart with me. So I've been watching a lot of Ash's gaming streams to figure out how she does
Taking
it.
some tips.
Absolutely,
ask?
absolutely.
Ask her.
Is this the
ask
week?
her to help to set it up.
Is what
Is this
the
the
what?
week for? Is this the week for another Ash Guava showdown?
Please tell me
bet.
yes.
Oh, they need to. Did they not do it last week? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, he was sick. Remember?
Oh yeah, he had like
He had a man flu.
yeah, something horrible. I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad.
Oh my goodness.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
Wait,
Did he question
Carry on.
his... Okay. Anyway, yeah, he was sick all week. That's why he wasn't here Friday. But yeah. Yeah, I watch. Oh, look, Ash uses OBS to stream my entire screen. That's how I do it. Yeah, see, I don't use OBS because it's difficult. I like very simple things. The simpler, the better. I have nothing. Oh,
no,
boy, I'm really feeling
everybody
okay.
wants to watch you guys. How are you gonna stream Mario Kart? Everyone's down to watch a Mario Kart
Yep.
match.
Well, what we'll do is I think I'll use StreamYards and I'll bring the Nintendo Switch on as a guest. So
Will that work?
I think so. I think I've got this figured out. I don't know.
Perhaps a trial
know.
run
Yeah.
before
Well, we'll
you
do
actually
something.
turn on the camera, or not. Whatever.
Yeah, if I'm on like at 3 a.m. and all of a sudden like either I'm you see the camera on and I'm not wearing any clothes, or you see
Lord.
like Mario Kart and some very lewd language, that would be me testing
right.
it out, and I did that by accident. So
And then watch you get clipped.
yeah, and I'd be fine
Clippers
with
are
that.
out.
I'd be fine with that. If
Let's not
I
get rid
got
of the
clipped-
channel.
Do what?
I said, let's not get rid of the channel. You gotta wear clothes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm told all the time. Even though I had to go take my pants off, I was like, "Oh, dude, it's been too long."
But do you
of a
ever
day."
wear pants?
Yeah, it was cold today. It was Oh, wait a second. Hold on, I got a new button. Maybe I was gonna have one. No, I thought I had the weather.
So
now.
many buttons.
No, but I have Sydney time. It is 1:26 in Sydney, Australia, right now.
It is.
that
Bravo.
awesome?
You know what time it is here now.
Yes, it's 1:26 on Tuesday. It's awesome. So yeah, I've got Sydney, I've got London, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. So I know where everybody is.
Covering your bases.
I don't know where Miami Spice is though. She's in the North Pole, and that's a
Yep. It's kind of like Mountain Time. Doesn't
oh,
exist.
that's awful. Backwoods is over on YouTube now. Show him some love. Sorry, I've been talking to you guys, not paying attention like I need to the chat. They're much nicer to me than y'all are.
What?
I'm
We're
teasing.
perfectly fine.
So
Perfectly
rude.
fine.
No. A clipping expert screams and compare them with Guaball screams sounds like a plan.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Squab Bob knows I got a haircut. Yeah, not the haircut I wanted, but the haircut I needed.
Or what's the haircut you
So-
got?
Yeah. I gotta do it. Let's see here. Snoopy Spirit is my YouTube ID because of the true crime Snoopy and the paranormal stuff. Spirit. Oh.
No.
Isn't true crime, shouldn't that be Scooby? Instead of Snoopy? Isn't
But you're
Snoopy
being
Charlie
Snoopy. I don't Snoopy.
Well,
But you're
she used to
being,
have
like,
the
Snoop?
little.
Brown? Oh, Snoop.
Snoopy.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
See? You have to draw a picture for me for everything. Hubby's dog is Junior, and he snores in everything I do, so he's top billing. That is awesome. That is Brown Dog
That
is
is
very
It's
proficient in
true.
that.
I love it. Have you heard JR snoring when in Deb's streams when she's reading the Donner Family? It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So cute.
Oh man, no, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm like, I probably was like, pulling out my headphones, seeing if that was happening here, because I have the dogs do that a lot. Big guy, how are you doing? I should have saved it. If anybody would buy my cut hair, I would send it.
It's your new grift.
Look,
Yeah, is it really?
look
I
at
have no
Bob's
idea.
next comment.
Maybe
he's
we
ahead
should
of
ask
you.
Grandma. She knows people's fetishes. Maybe people have a fetish for cut hair.
That'd be awesome. Hey, Lucky Chucky, how are you doing? Another crossover from Playboy Malloy's. So my T-shirt's hot pink. I can't wait to wear it.
When's
This
its
is Playboy
debut?
Malloy. Yes, I might wear it every stream. It's very exciting. I don't get out very much.
We can.
I can't wait to wear it in public and people be like, people aren't gonna say anything. That's the sad part. I wish they would. They'd be like,
No,
"Who's
they'll just
Playboy
point and
Malloy?"
judge, and laugh behind your back.
Yeah, they don't. They don't wait to go behind my back.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah,
It's pretty harsh there in Tennessee.
my life is hard. It's very difficult.
Is it?
That's why Harambe is here, is to be a constant reminder. Harambe looks over me and reminds
I
me.
thought Harambe was meant to like sit in front of your face.
That did look better, didn't it? But no, I was afraid that my picture would be gone. I don't know if I have access to another picture. I don't know if I'm allowed to print anything else out. I get in trouble for that.
So, did you actually buy a
Isn't
frame or
it-
did you steal a frame?
Oh, that's stolen.
Stolen.
Well, I mean, stolen's a unique work of art, term of art, whatever it is. It's one of those fancy words. What happened was I happened to look down, and there was a frame between the dressers, and I was like, "Look at that! There's a frame there." So I got some Windex, or not Windex, whatever this stuff is. Look, I'm brand doing whatever. But this stuff is
You're sponsored.
Not
awesome.
sponsored.
Yeah, I know. I would love to sponsor this stuff. This stuff smells intoxicating too. It's very chemically smelly. But it's I don't have things like that. No. But anyway,
Oh, my.
no, that's bad. It's very chemically smelling. It's awesome because you feel like it's clean. But anyway, yes, no streak. And so I cleaned the frame up, placed Harambe, and there. Now I've got to get a light for Harambe.
But you know
I
your
think
head covers it, right?
I have a huge head. It's huge. You should see me try to get a hat. It's ridiculous how big it is.
Surely they come in large sizes.
Thank you, Squab. Thank you for telling me that. I really like the new lighting and camera presence. Yes, thank you. Nobody ever tells you that stuff. See what great demo. Those rednecks are gonna kick his butt. With my pink Playboy Malloy.
Yep.
Hot pink. Yeah.
Lucky Chucky loves to hear Melissa's
Why, thank
Oz
you.
accent. Yeah, that's what we need to get Melissa to sell her voice.
You couldn't
So-
sell it to Australians though, because my accent's not exactly one of a
Unique.
kind in Australia. Yeah, exactly. Although I work very hard on it. I mean,
Does everybody really? Because like, I'm trying to think of an Australian.
mad cool,
Mad
crystal
core.
clear.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're Australian, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking like Mel Gibson or
Oh. I was
Paul
the same people we knew.
Logan or whatever his name is. No. So, Gentos Bat ice cream. Yes, we all scream for ice cream. It is Sunday night. Sundays, we are just chilling out here. I'm very blessed to have Miami Spice and Melissa Jane here hanging out. Tish in Tennessee may be coming by, and of course, Texas Jen is always invited. But the problem, we figured out the other night, the problem with Texas Jen coming on a stream is she flips the light switch too much. What was up with that? She kept running across the room to flip the light switch, and I was like, no, you're fine. Just leave the lights on. And then you remember when she turned it off and she came onto camera?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, it was terrifying. It looked like a spirit came out, like it was a 3D, like I got you thing. I was like, like it'd be good for Halloween. Be very good for Halloween. Oh look, Keith Gregory went to Perth, Australia in the Navy. Where is Perth?
Cool. It's on the
You know
other
where
side
Perth-
of Australia to me. On the opposite end.
Yeah, see, like I don't know how Australia works. I was thinking about that today. I was like California is on the other side of the country.
Well, we just think of it. The Perth is on the other side of the country.
Like how far is that? Like how long does it
Literally.
take to drive? Can you drive it?
You can't drive it in a day, I don't think, because it takes so along the east coast. So I'm kind of centrally on the east coast. So to drive down towards Melbourne, which is like 8 or 9 hours, and
Oh wow.
yeah, it'd be like, yeah, I don't know, a couple of days, I guess. I have no idea. I've never done it. I haven't known anyone to do it, so.
Oh, it's so crazy.
There's a cool thing in Florida, which is a fun drive. If you do east to west, you get up in the morning and you watch the sunrise on the east coast, and then you drive across the state and you can go have lunch or whatever and hang around and watch the sunset.
That's
Of
awesome.
course, you have. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It only takes like hour and a half to get
Yeah, I was
across
gonna
the
say
state.
it's
Because
only
in
a couple-
Sydney, you don't get a true sunset like what you would in Perth, but you get like a true sunrise.
And that's well, you showed me pictures of those. You shared pictures of those. Those are pretty.
in Tennessee, it's the sun comes up on the east and it sets in the west.
Yes.
So that's how that works.
Yes.
It's good.
And we
Good
just
to
like
know.
yeah, like if you want to see the sunset, you look west. You want to see the sunrise, you gotta get up, or you haven't gone to bed yet, and you look east.
Don't worry.
That's how we do it. I don't have a compass though. You know that bothers me. It's always
There's a
bothered me.
compass on your phone.
Is there?
Yeah,
How do you know?
because of my work. There's an app on the iPhone for a compass.
Oh, I was like, how'd you find that on my phone?
Yeah, because I've got spyware installed on your phone.
Well, I don't know. They keep saying that
Same
you're
type
artifi-
of phone.
Well, they say you're artificial intelligence. I'm like, wait a second.
Well, yeah.
You threw me there for
Oh
a
yeah, I'm
second.
AI. I connected to your phone. All right, there you go. Things you know, things you find out.
Hi, clumsy.
I'm worried now. I don't know what's happening. Clumsy, how are you doing?
Hi, clumsy.
Oh my gosh, you guys have me. Yeah, I'm worried now. It's a.
Relax. I'm not gonna
Okay.
hack your phone. This
Well, there's
time.
nothing in it. There's nothing. No, this
It's
one
too many
doesn't have
buttons.
anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no.
Yeah.
I
Gotta
don't
have
think
effort
there's
for that.
Who's creating a strobe light? Oh, hey, you know what? I took Mel's advice. Well, it doesn't work. Oh, there it is. I moved the disco lights behind me, so that way they don't shine on me. Yeah, thank you, Mel. It's a lot better that way.
Oh,
Isn't
look at
that
that.
cool?
Much better.
Yeah, yeah. See,
I love the disco lights.
yeah, this is the coolest thing ever. But anyway, yeah, disco lights.
I knew you were joking when you showed me that and said you were getting that. Because, like,
They were
in the
$7.
middle of the night
We got
purchase.
like there's $7 and there's a 10% off coupon. How do you say no?
Oh, dear.
Of course.
Yeah, everything goes back into the stream, and the stream needed some disco lights. Now I just need to get some disco
Funtube.
music. Yes, yes.
How do you get disco music without getting struck though?
I don't know. I don't know how to do a lot of things.
Hmm.
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't
Well,
hit
you
that
figured
like
out how to
button,
turn
please
the
hit
light
that.
on, so at least you did something.
Okay, you want to hear something really bad? So, our garage lights, right, we got a light, light bulbs on each side of the garage door. But the only way you can turn it on and off is out in the garage. So nighttime comes, it's, you want to turn on the lights, you hear something, or, if your loved one's coming home, you want to leave the lights on for them. So I was like, hey, check this out. I get those Amazon light bulbs that answer to the Amazon thing. And I'll just say, hey, babe, turn the lights on. And she'll do it. So I was like, this is awesome because they're Amazon brand. I just have to screw them in, turn them on. So I screwed them in, and I got one to hook up to the app. The other one, I don't think the Wi-Fi was strong enough. I got to try this again now that I got new Wi-Fi. And so I was adjusting the lights. So now the brand new lights out front, one is white and one is yellow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks very
You
janky.
didn't look like the
is
color
what White
temperature
Rabbit
before you
said.
bought it?
No, I didn't. I can't adjust it because I can't get it hooked up to the app.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah, now I understand.
my brilliant plan wasn't as good as asking Tish in Tennessee to come on. How are you doing, Tish?
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh,
Hello,
Tish saved me.
Tish.
Hello. What am I saving you from? Sorry. I don't know.
Miami and Melissa. been
Light
picking on
light
me.
bulbs.
Like,
Oh,
it
Lord.
reminds me of like Rivergate Skate Center, if you remember
Yes!
where that is. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I
This
was
is
thinking.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, I've never been. I don't roller skate. I don't put things on my feet that I can't control.
Hey, Weird Debbie. Hey, Crafting Emily. Yeah, I think that would be dangerous to do, maybe. But I mean,
Yeah,
you ever wonder who thinks of things like that? Like, who thinks about I'm going to take some things that roll and put them on my feet and try to stand up and walk? Where does that thought come in?
You know what? Yeah, Mel, is
I was
rollerblading, is
6.
that a thing for y'all?
It came back. So, yeah.
I don't know why. I just thought about like rollerblading seems to be very Australian in our culture.
They called them speed skates here after they didn't want to call them roller skates because that would make them old like us. So the kids
Oh.
called them speed skates instead.
Oh, I don't know any kids that have them. I've just seen them in the stores, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
when did this come back?
Are the ones that go in your shoe? Did you ever have those where you can like flick a switch
White Rabbit.
and they
wanted
look like
those.
tennis
Oh, yeah, I've
shoes?
seen those.
And then they actually
I've
end up
seen
looking like
those.
I had those. So yeah,
Did you ever fall?
of course I did.
Oh, see.
I'm clumsy just trying to stand up, let alone being on roller skates. So
My son
yeah,
had to have a pair of those. Oh, it was so funny. I think
Deb.
he was 7.
Warren
Had to have a pair of those. And we're like, you're gonna fall. And what
You're
did he
gonna
do? He
fall.
fell. But he got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although that doesn't always
Got
work out when you tell kids things like that. My kid wanted to buy a lottery ticket, so I let him thinking he was going to lose. he didn't lose. So I let him take all the money and do it again. He still didn't lose. We're like $500 and 7 tickets in, and he's still winning. I lied to him and told him he lost.
No
Which I know
way!
is terrible because it was working the opposite of how I wanted it to. So
You're
I told him,
creating some
Wow.
gambling.
yeah.
Addict.
I told him that years later. I gave him the money. I still had it. And I was like, when I told you you lost on those scratch offs, you didn't.
No.
That's great.
But like the
That is-
opposite was happening of what I wanted, right? So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So
Boy, you were on a run though. I was on
Yeah,
a run.
Mom
Yeah,
moment
I mean-
gone wrong.
I don't know what it would happen if
Mhm.
I hadn't stopped him, but I was like, oh, this isn't good. So yeah,
I,
sorry I'm late.
uh,
I actually cooked a steak and I'm drinking chocolate milk now, so I'm eating 2. So
Oh
I
my
haven't
gosh,
tried that little
that's awesome.
contraption that you talked me into getting yet.
Oh,
But
the Nova. Did you get
it came
that?
in today. I got it today.
I
haven't
did
used it
not
yet.
talk you into doing this stuff. Now there's 2 things you have that you're blaming me for. and
No,
you
no,
haven't,
I'm not blaming you on the first. I asked you about the first. I asked you about what computer to get. So no, I'm not blaming you for that one. But the little thingamajig, and I can't remember the name of it. It looks kind of scary, but I'm gonna try to use it. So
No, it's fun.
I don't know that I'm
Yeah.
gonna heat shower water with it, but
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want
No.
to do that. Oh yeah. Hold on, we didn't tell. So what happened is that my my hot water heater went out. It's one of these Innova. Well, Innova's the company, but it's a sous vide. If y'all know what that is the stick. It's an immersion way of cooking. You put your food into a bag. You remove all the air. You put your seasoning in there and everything else. You remove all the air. You put it in water with the sous vide stick, and the sous vide stick circulates the water around your vessel. It heats it to a certain temperature, and it's fabulous. Like if you have like a steak, you can cook it for like 6 hours, and it won't overcook or anything. Take it out, put it on a skillet real quick to give it a crust, and it's delicious. And the meat is very tender because it's been a slow cooking process a lot of time. And so anyway, got this thing for Christmas. Went to Walmart. I was like, I'm gonna put this thing to the test. Got a Walmart steak and put it in there. And son of a gun, it came out tasty. It did. It was tender. So I was loving this thing. Well, then a couple weeks later, our hot water heater blew, and so we had no hot water in January. So that means it's very cold. And so me being as crafty, I got a solar shower, and I got a bucket from Lowe's, one of those 5-gallon buckets.
because they're cheaper than Home Depot, right?
They are. They're cheaper than
Yeah.
Home Depot.
Yeah, they
And
are.
it's
cheaper than Home
clean.
Depot.
It's brand new. Never been used. Never had anything in there. And I filled the bucket up with water. Well, I filled the solar shower up with water. And then I filled the bucket up with water, put that in there, and then I put the sous vide in there. And I did this in the bathroom. So when the White Rabbit got ready for a shower in the morning, she had hot water out of this camping solar bag.
But to be fair, in Tennessee, when the power goes out, you don't know if it's going to be an hour, 2 hours, or 3 weeks. So I mean,
wow.
there's never any rhyme or reason to the power being out. So
Oh no, this was the hot water heater had to be replaced.
just the hot water heater. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant
it's
your power was out in January because it's always out at some point in January.
No, we've been very lucky here. Yeah, matter of fact, when all the power went out there at Christmas time, all across Tennessee, we weren't affected.
You mean when Second Avenue blew up?
No. This is this last.
Well,
did
you
you
had
guys
our
not
power
have-
was out then for the whole day and the next day.
Oh, was it really? I know
Yeah.
cell phone power.
Yeah, cell
Oh.
phones, internet. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out what my dog was doing.
It's a
Cell
dog
phones,
strain.
internet, the whole thing. Yeah, I've got 3 of them in here wandering around somewhere. See?
Aw.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
hang on
thinks
a second.
mom's distracted, so he's in the trash. But there's nothing in the trash can. So
Yeah, I found out that I had to pick up a lot of pieces of boxes that the blue tick had torn up while I was talking to y'all, and I was like, "Wow, this is not fun."
Was mom not home? Because mine
No,
will do
she's
that if I'm not home. They'll like throw a little fit. So
yeah, it's not. No, yeah, she's not home. That they wanted my attention. Blue Dog
Yep.
ate the. It's actually this new router because I had to get a new router. It's because everybody gives me a hard time about the internet here not working, but it's hardline now. So it
good.
works.
Good. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the box is gone. If there's any instructions or anything I need to know,
Too late.
Gone.
yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Dog ate it. Blue Dog.
Yeah.
Ate it.
I never
It's
know.
definitely like
It's so funny.
cardboard.
Somebody will say, "Which dog is behind you?" And I have to look because it's like they probably switched places 4 times in the entire stream that Melissa, Jane, and I had tonight. But yeah,
Y'all's stream was great. I really
thank you.
was.
It was the guest that I had. I can't take any credit for that at all.
Oh, no.
But
No,
That was fun.
it was so lovely being on. It was so good.
anytime. Yeah.
What is Texas Jen got the Dirk Diggler?
Jen's been running the chat. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
Since you've been ignoring it. I've been watching.
I'm not ignoring it.
I don't know.
He's
chat
like, I'm
is-
not ignoring it. I'm just, yeah.
It's okay. Jen's got
Is
it
there
under control.
Yeah, no. Jen's
Did I
got
do
this.
something wrong?
Both the Jens have it under control. It's all good.
Mhm.
Probably because I always do something wrong. But you know,
No.
No.
no
you
you're
can do something. You can do something wrong without even knowing you've done anything wrong sometimes. So yeah.
Tish, I really enjoy your Sunday streams. I really
Thank
they're-
you.
They're
You're
at a
sweet.
good time. Yeah, they're at a good time, and you're always concise, and you ask good questions, and you're prepared,
Thank
and
you.
and you just keep it tight, and so there's no expectation, and other than you're gonna have a good time, and you're gonna learn something about whoever you have on,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. I like it.
Thank you. I'm new at it, so I'm getting there. But yeah, I try to keep it because other streams are going on later, and people have stuff to do. That's why I try to keep it kind of the same time frame. But
Oh, it's
you know.
it's a perfect time for Sundays.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I
not
mean, if
late,
you-
not early, right?
Yeah.
So
people love
not
it.
too early in the South because I wouldn't want to conflict with church. That might be a bad thing,
That's right.
as my
that's
mother
right.
reminded me tonight. But yeah,
Did she say, "Why aren't you at church?"
no. She asked me. She said, "You did go to the early service today." I said, "Yes, ma'am." I did it online. I just didn't tell her that part. So I just omitted
counts.
the details that we didn't leave the house to go do it. I did participate, and there's 2 people in my house, right? So that counts.
Church in your jammies
that's
is
the important
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, 2 people. 2 people are gathered. It didn't say where, so I didn't lie to her technically. So church or supper. Yeah, I can't take credit. My husband grilled the steaks tonight. Normally I do them in the air fryer, and he's like, "How about I just do them outside? You've had a rough day." I'm like, cool.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
Your husband sounds great. Tish, you're having there's a stream that you're getting ready to do coming up that you are very excited about. You want to tell everybody about that?
yes, I'm very excited. So I don't know how many of you remember that there was a nurse by the name of Charles Collins, went by the name of Chris, but he unalived at least 94 people that he got charged with, but they're thinking that it was actually well over 400 people. And unfortunately, every hospital that he went to just kept like reassigning him, or they would fire him, but they would always give him, just a basic reference. So the nurse that helped the police catch him is named Amy Lauren, and she is actually coming on week after next. This week I've got T3 on, who everybody thinks we're the same person, but the week after she's supposed to come on my stream, so I'm pretty excited. There's a Netflix documentary on her now, actually a movie called The Good Nurse, and documentary too. So I'm pretty excited. But what he would do was he would, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, he would inject insulin or diazepam into the saline bags, and then essentially either he would hook up the saline or other nurses would, not knowing what was in it. So she was they would not have caught him without her. They knew he did it, but they never would have been able to prove it without her. So it'll be pretty cool. So I'm excited.
That's cool. I have a random
That's awesome.
question.
Yes.
I don't know if you can answer it. So you said they would he would inject insulin in the
Mhm.
saline bags. What does
Mhm.
that do? I mean, I know.
So if
obviously-
you're not diabetic and I give you insulin, it's going to bottom out your blood sugar. And if your blood sugar gets too low, then essentially you go into essentially a coma and it can kill you.
Ooh.
Because if you get
Oh.
insulin shot in, and of course, insulin's clear in a bag, so you wouldn't see it, but they think that they're getting saline, which is essentially, you know, water mixture, and they're actually giving them. And these are the news at the time kind of spun it like he was mercy killing, meaning people who were really sick is the only ones he was doing it to, but that's actually not the case at all. But that's how, and of course the prick was so small that it didn't make the bag leak unless you squeezed it. Well, they don't tend to do that. They do now, but they didn't then. So yeah, they give
Wow.
patients a lethal dose without even knowing it.
Wow.
Expert, did you just pass out? Are you okay?
What is happening?
I don't know.
The prick was so small.
Oh Lord.
I didn't mean it that way, but okay.
Grandma After Dark, you need to help us.
Grandma
Please
after
save
dark.
us.
Grandma after dark. It's like what was it? Dr. Bombay on The Bewitched.
I've heard your story before. I haven't heard you say that, and I was sneaking
There was no sneaking. We all heard it.
Yeah, we all heard it.
You weren't sneaking, but yeah.
No.
and I just
You
right
went
when I
subtle
popped out
little.
my mouth, you said the prick was so small, and I was like, oh gosh, it got me tickled. I'm sorry.
It's all right. And I got 2 more coming. Southern Savers, if you're in the South, you may have heard of her. She helps with all kinds of ways to basically buy food for your family. And I've got another. So I've got a few people that I'm just doing interviews with and sending later. But that lab I'm kind of excited about. So I was surprised she said yes. It took a little bit to get her to say yes, but I was surprised she said yes.
Yeah, how did you get her?
She lives in Florida, and I've got a relative that's somewhat associated with her, kind of loosely. So, ended up connecting through Instagram, and then she said she'd come on. So I always get nervous when people say that they won't actually show, but it's okay. I've got the whole story in my head anyway. But I think she will, because she does a lot of other things. But just amazing. Think about that. She's a single mom at the time, so she's putting her livelihood on the line, helping them, because if she had gotten caught, I mean, they would have fired her. And yeah, you can say, well, that's worth that. Okay, but then if they fired her and didn't get him, then what is it for? Right. So, but yeah, they think he killed over 400 people. And he didn't never gave a real, other than just being who he was, there was never really a motive, meaning he just said that, you know, he knew he wasn't going to stop.
400 people for one
That's what they
person.
estimate. Yeah, that's not what he was charged with, but they estimate that he killed over 400. He got charged, I want to say, with 49. So
Well,
yeah,
even 49. I mean, that has to be one of the biggest mass event people.
I think he actually
in
pled to
history.
29 total, but they know 49 and they suspect over 400 because apparently the device that they used at the time that they got medication, if you immediately canceled it, it would still open, so you could still get the medication out, but it would register that you didn't. So those are the records that she was able to give to them to prove that each person and each time he had gone in and gotten those doses. I mean, the bravery, not to mention the fact he could have killed her, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Checking Conviction just came in. She wants to know who you're talking about again.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Amy Lauren. She was a nurse that helped police catch a coworker by the name of Charles. He went by Chris, I think Cullen. And he basically was a nurse who was murdering patients. So,
How do you remember how she? You know what? I need to watch your stream. I don't need to ask you questions. I need to watch.
No,
Well, I mean,
no spoiler alerts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Stay tuned. 2
Stay
weeks.
tuned.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought there was.
That was the teaser. That was just a little trailer.
I mean,
You
I
know, and
really
there
am
were
interested
people
in it.
trying to sound the alarm before he, like, early on, and they couldn't find quote unquote conclusive. And of course, hospitals being what they are very litigious, averse. And if it's not cut and dry, then they're going to do what they can to protect themselves, right? So, but then he got more and more brave as it went on. And of course, we do, right? We get away with one thing, and then we do something else. Checking of Issues, yes, it is on Netflix right now. Actually, the documentary about her with the police officers is on, and there's also a movie called The Good Nurse, and they took some liberties with the movie, but it's still not way off. So
I don't know if you just mentioned this, but the one fact that when we were discussing this a couple weeks ago, maybe it was just last week, time isn't real, is that how many hospitals he worked at, because
I want to say 13, but I'll have to go back and look at my notes, but it was a lot over time frame. And see, back then too, it wasn't unusual for nurses to go from hospital to hospital, right? They're like teachers. They don't get paid enough. So if there's a place they can go and get, so seeing where they'd been to several different locations wasn't an automatic red flag. So, but I can't remember. I want to say 13 hospitals, but I don't want to. I'm going to say alleged there. I'm going to have to go back and actually look. But it was several.
Are they all in the same state? All the hospitals are in the same state?
Yeah,
or
I believe
states?
so, except for maybe one, but they weren't in the same county. So
Got it.
yeah, I mean, and I don't know that they, and I always want to look at the other side of it, right? To the hospital's point of view, they know something's going on, but they can't, if they don't have concrete proof themselves, there's also liability for giving somebody a bad reference. They can't say, oh, by the way, don't hire him because we think he did X, right? So if they don't have a definite connection themselves, now how much they looked for that connection's debatable, but yeah, I try to look at it from both sides. But he also would, I think that one of the hospitals just let him go because he put the wrong dates that he had been at another hospital. So they would get rid of him knowing he was doing something.
Right.
But,
Can I wear Debbie?
Yeah, it's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Yep.
Again, you get the best guest.
I try.
You really do.
So I've got a few coming up I'm trying to get to. It's just one of those things where I don't, unless you tell me, leave me alone and don't talk to me anymore, I'm going to keep trying. So, yeah.
Yeah, I tried once with Peter Kane, and he told me no. I got
Try
on
him
live
again.
stream. He's the guy who Bigfoot accosted.
Yeah,
I think
try
you
him
just
again.
got him on a bad day. He seemed kind of
I
cranky.
think every
that
day's
day.
a bad day for
So
Peter
like
Kane.
one of the ones I have on, she's got a channel called Carnivus Me. I'm doing an interview with her that I'm going to tape because of timing. But I've been trying to get her to come on for 3 months. And we finally got a time. So she set a goal and lost something like 70 pounds. Which it's not about the weight. It's about setting the goal and getting to that goal, because there's always something, right? But it took about 3 months for me to get together with her. So don't take, you just have to tell, I won't stalk you, but I'll follow up with them in a couple of months. Like, hey, you said no before, but here's my channel if you think about it. So I got another guy that was had an apartment down at the Christmas bombing of downtown Nashville. We're trying to work out schedules now.
Yeah, that's a thing that I don't know how many people know about, or if they heard about it even. It just went away. It was.
I think a lot of people heard about it. They shut it down pretty quickly. I have my opinion about why they shut it down pretty quickly because of what could have happened versus what did. Meaning the building that he was after, he was afraid of 5G. The building that he blew it up in front of is an AT&T building. But it's a hub for a lot of communications on this side of the country. So really, if he had succeeded in completely taking that out, it would have infected banks, stores, emergencies, everything, had that building been completely destroyed. And a lot of data is stored there, government data, everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know there's government data in there. There's 2020
To put it in
results
perspective, do you remember where the spaghetti factory is?
Yeah.
It's
I
it's
know where
not
that
too
AT&T
far
building
down
is.
from the
Yeah.
not the Batman building. This was one that was not advertised as being AT&T. It was a more or less unmarked area of 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the White Rabbit, her dad, because he was in telecommunications, he was a phone
hmm
company, and
And of
he was
course, the
talking
thought
about,
when you see it is, what else is going to go? Is this one person? Is it? Are we going to start seeing it other places? So I mean, it was really surreal to see it. And I have a friend that's on the bomb squad with Metro, and of course, then you have people looking for attention that start calling crap in all over the city that's not even real, right? So, but yeah, it was interesting, very
well,
interesting.
it
So
was crazy because it's like, I mean, nobody watches the news on Christmas morning except for my parents, and
right, this doesn't
they're
make me
like,
sound old. I like to watch. I like to watch some of the Thanksgiving and Christmas parades, and I like to watch a couple of things that come on here
well,
locally on
yeah.
Christmas Day. I always just habit of watching, just happen to see it. But then also where I work, I knew our systems were struggling, so you know.
Yeah, it's just,
Guys,
I
I
don't
gotta
know.
love you and leave you.
I was
I
gonna
have
say
to
Mel's got to go.
You've
It's
got an
Yeah.
appointment, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Gotta fix my shoulder.
Fix
Oh
fix the
gosh.
shoulder. Feel better.
Yeah.
Mel, thanks for
Definitely
coming
feel
on
better.
here, and
Thanks for
you
having
did-
me.
You guys were awesome tonight over on Tissues.
And thank you
So, if
again
you
for
guys haven't
coming
seen it, go
on
check out
to
that
my
Oh,
video.
thank you
chaos.
for asking me.
So, yep.
That was awesome. All right. I love you guys. Bye bye, chat.
Bye.
Love you, Mel.
Bye,
Be
Mel.
safe.
Bye.
Can she figure
I
out?
love
Yeah,
her.
she can
She's
figure out how to
awesome.
get herself off there. Yeah, she really is awesome. She
Yeah.
really is awesome. Yeah, that's just so crazy. That well, I don't know. Yeah, the Christmas bombing was crazy, and it was crazy because, like, I don't know, it went away. Like, you just didn't hear
Yeah.
about it or anything. And of course, I'm always afraid to talk about stuff like that. But no, this nurse you're having on, though, that's really cool.
Yeah,
And
I think that'll be really
I'm
cool.
glad that Checking Convictions here and gets to hear you, because I mean, true crime stuff. People are in the true crime community on YouTube. They never have anything like that. They just sit there and, like, I guess right now they're talking about Idaho constantly. I don't know what happened. I'm completely removed from everything right now. Last night was the chat just ended up being talking about movies I haven't seen.
That-
So
I just like things that I don't know. I mean, I like the quote. I guess you would say true crime, but more because my husband was a detective, my dad's an attorney, a judge. But I like things that there's a connection to somewhere with me or here. So, I just like to talk. I like to hear people's stories, I guess is the best way to say it.
I love that you say that, because that's my thing. I love, like, everybody has a story to tell, and I love just, it's like, if you had somebody come on, what would you talk to them about? And things just say, well,
Well, and
who
think
are
about
you?
it too. If you have a friend who has legitimately helped you out, you work with every single day, even though the police are telling you he's doing X, part of your mind's not going to want to believe that, right? So you're still, I think there's still a level of betraying a friend that would you have to grieve over as well, right? Just as much as you're doing the right thing, but at the same time, you can't resolve your mind between the friendship you have and the person in front of you. So, I mean, I would think that would be something that would be difficult too. So I try to look at it from more than just one angle. Try to look at it from a few different ways of thinking about it.
That's
Yeah,
why I love
it's
listening
just-
to you, because you always you
You're sweet.
everything is full circle, like, just not one side. You
I
just
am a
like, wow.
huge believer in anyone will do anything under the right or wrong set of circumstances. And that I've been pretty lucky in the people I've had in my life. And I've done a lot of things that I wish I hadn't done. And I just, that while that's horrible and I get it, I can still see how it'd be hard to do that with. I mean, I have coworkers I'm really close to that I could, if someone told me they were doing something, it would be hard to believe. Right. So try to keep it all way perspective if I can.
Well,
I guess I'm really naive. I just believe everybody's like good, right? Expert.
I don't think there is a good or a bad.
I
You know
do.
what I mean?
Maybe
so I
I'm
can't
just
let you on my
naive.
site. I can't let you. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, they're bad. Don't go over there.
I don't think we're good or bad.
No, I just feel like everyone has good intentions, I guess. And then
I mean, there's
then
evil. Don't get me wrong, but even your worst criminals, you can think of somebody cared about them at some level at some point, right?
well,
So-
then there's that. Because serial killers have mothers, right?
Well,
That's-
yeah, Yeah, and it's not always, as cut and dry as you think.
That's what
It's
my
just
mom always says. Everybody was a baby once and were loved by their
right,
mother. And
right.
then I meet the white rabbit, and she goes, "Not every mother loves their kids." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not." She's
That's
like,
true.
"Yeah, she's
But
because
that's not
we'll
norm.
see."
That's not always. Well,
Well,
that's not.
but even at that, someone at a store thought that person was nice and made their day when they came in somewhere. I mean, I think everybody does some level of good somewhere if you look for it. But I think the problem is we get set on trajectories that change our lives, right? Good or bad.
True.
I mean, I'd tell you I'd never steal, but if my kids were going hungry, I might rethink that sentence.
Yeah, I mean that's the um, yeah. What's funny about that is it actually reminds me. Deb Moremore's done the Donner Party. She's been reading the I guess the what is it? Is it the is it the story or is it the like a journal from one
The
of them?
Dahmer files, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Or reading from his
yeah.
journal?
And,
Yeah.
and so when she did that, it got me interested in it. And oh gosh, crud! I can't get over there to a stupid thing. I'm sorry. I'm
I
trying
think
to.
we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Enchiladas on Bread has done a super sticker, and I was trying to go over
Yay.
to look at it because I don't have. I had to reset my computer right before the stream, so I forgot to bring YouTube back up, and my chat's not loaded. And I was like, crud. So anyway, thank you, Enchiladas on Bread. How
Hey,
are
thank
you
you.
doing? Oh, and also,
Touchdown. Paper unbreaded.
just because your enchiladas on bread. Enchilada said she came over from Nick Ricada's chat. Was over there and said he got too much and said found this.
Found
And
positivity, I guess.
I don't know. First time
Not
was,
that Nick's chat is negative. I just sometimes it can get interesting. Let's put it that way.
yeah, it's gotten very interesting lately.
He must be on Rumbles or something. I don't see him.
He's in Vegas this week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, he hasn't done much of anything. He did a thing last night. Um, I want to be so mean. I can't be. He'll kill me. So
no.
oh, I know. It's
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at?
okay. That's gonna get struck. But anyway, Guava Ball, how are you doing? I'm here for
Probably.
the pretty ladies, not the sunglasses.
Aw.
You just missed
You just
Mel.
missed, yeah, Mel.
Yeah, she has to go work
Our
on her
supermodel
shoulder.
Mel.
Supermodel Mel, yeah.
She has to work on her
Agreed.
shoulder. Hang on a second. The book I'm reading was written by one of the daughters of George Donner, the captain of the wagon train. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
she starts reading this, and so then I start getting interested in it, and I was like, well, I've been to Donner Pass. I've always had kind of this thing. So I go over and I start finding all these videos of it, and I think it was like an old History Channel like video, like someone had it's been loaded up about it, and it said you'll never know, like the instinct to eat, to survive, is so primal that
Yeah.
that's what happened. It's like they didn't realize that they were doing anything wrong, or it's just it's psychologically it's very different. So when you said like I think the only thing I would steal from my children if they were hungry, and that just reminds me of it. It's
Yeah.
in
I
a
mean, if you ask
circumstance
me,
like
Tish,
that.
would you ever steal anything? My answer wants to be no. But the reality is, when you get down to that level and that linear thinking, I can't really say that. I like to find when I'm reading books or I'm watching a movie or anything with a historical person or a person in general, I try to find something for the person, something against the person, and someone who doesn't care one way or the other, and try to kind of read more than just one way of content, because then I think you get the real person versus, who the writer, because we all write and we all talk with a bias, whether we want to or not.
Are
I like
you
people
talking
who
about
are,
using critical thought?
I know it's crazy, isn't it?
What?
Oh my
So-
gosh. I thought that was dead. Holy
No.
cow. We have a
No, I,
critical
I
thinker
like
on
listening to what other
screen.
people think because I am, if you look on my channel, it says I know that I don't know anything. I am not an expert on anything. I'm just a student. Because we're one
Oh.
big discovery away from everything we think being turned on its head all the time. So I just think it's fascinating. I'm a nerd. I like information.
Well, Miami Spice, she's a thief. She steals a lot.
Hearts.
Yeah, she does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew you were going there.
Aw.
There's a following. She has someone. I can't remember who the last one was, and they said something about like, "Well, now I do it if Miami Spice said to." I was like, "What? Where
Aw.
did this come from?" I was like,
Wait, what? How did
"Yeah, yeah." I can't remember who said it. It wasn't Darth Hideous either, because
Are
Darth
you
That
is
is
taking me to
all
Cedar
in your
Point.
mind.
Darth is taking me
No.
to Cedar Point.
Yeah.
It's too cold for Cedar Point.
Well, you can warm
You
it
could
up.
come
I mean, it'll
here.
warm up.
One day it's 60, the next day it's 6. So
Yeah, what was today? It was cold. It
it was
sucked.
cold today, and it was rainy, and it was one of those stay in bed days. So,
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's a great
Look,
on a
I'm
Sunday
getting
for
called
sure.
out. I'm getting called out right now. And I was thinking about that before I ever saw you say that, Guava.
Oh, so you
See,
just
look.
projected that onto me? Is that what you did?
you
No, I was
read it
gonna.
and send it.
No, I was gonna always. It was always gonna be about you, Miami. 'Cause I want-
Oh,
yes, and it's true. I can't remember who the last person was. I probably should know. But yeah, she's had several fellas. Oh, wait, was it Michael Malloy?
May have been. Hey, Melissa. She's driving and listening.
He says something about you. I know it scares me when she does that, but at the same time, I
Why?
like knowing she's safe.
Oh yeah.
And that's
True.
sad. It's like you're in Australia. It's like I don't even. Do they have 911 over there? I wouldn't know how to
That's
call
a
it.
good. I
that is a
don't.
good question.
I don't know because I got. We went to Atlantis in somewhere, the Atlantis Resort in the Caribbean, and I got really
Bahamas.
Bahamas. I got deathly sick. So my husband tries to call 911. It doesn't work there. It's something completely different. So
Yeah,
I ended
you're
up in the
right.
hospital in
That's
the
a good question.
Bahamas. That was fun.
Ugh.
But
Whoa,
yeah,
wait a
scary.
second. You were in the hospital in the Bahamas?
yes.
So, what's that like?
It's nothing fun. I was on a work trip and I had a severe allergic reaction to what they served at dinner.
Oh,
Ended up
no.
having to go by ambulance. So there's two types of hospitals in the area, at least that we were in. There was private and there was public, but because it was a work event, our CEO said take her to the private hospital. So they took me there and 7 bags of fluids, and a couple days later, I was finally able to go home. It was like going to, I was going to say kind of a stripped down. It wasn't slick or, like a Vanderbilt or anything like that, but I got good care there. The crazy thing was the bill. $1,400 period
Wow.
for everything. I was stunned because here that'd have been 10 grand the second I went in the ambulance, right? But yeah, 1,400. She said it's 000 there.
And in Canada, it's 999.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know who to call, but yeah, because the kind of sick where probably if I'd been by myself, it would have been bad type of sick. And but yeah.
Yeah, if you're in the Bahamas, go to the private hospital. I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
assure you on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to
I
the
can't say anything
Bahamas.
bad about the way the care, but like I said, it wasn't, fancy by stretch, but the doctor knew what they were doing. So I was
Oh,
lucky.
wow.
But yeah, 1,400 for all of it. I was like, are you kidding? I kept waiting for the other zero to get added at some point or get another bill. And no, didn't happen. Am I
You get
in-
multiple bills. If you're in the hospital like that,
$1,400.
you're
Yeah, that's
even with
that's like
insurance. You
one
get
night for
bills
brown
upon
dog.
bills upon bills. All right.
That's a vet bill, all right? 1,400's a vet
No.
bill.
No, it's more than that. It's a
Yeah, I
lot
know.
more than that.
He did ACL, right? Yeah, it's a lot more
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, it's well, it's a
Yep.
good doctor. Good. I hope he gets a new Corvette soon.
because you're not getting one anytime soon.
Oh,
Corvette is in his ACL. Yeah.
Yeah, there might be. There might be.
Dogs are awesome. They can just be some coins. So, I mean, I know I've got 4 times 4, right? So,
Well, yeah, dogs are. I don't know. There's something else. I don't know why we love them.
so what's the name of the new puppy y'all are getting?
White Rabbit's not here. That's the name of the new puppy.
Oh, okay.
She was not here. No, Brown Dog couldn't handle a new puppy. He couldn't handle a puppy. He got, gosh, to make him the middle child. I don't think that would
I
work
don't
out.
know. I swear that my oldest is more agile because of the youngest, because he makes her get off the couch.
Well, that's how Blue Dog is.
Yeah.
Because she has that hip dysplasia deal, and
Yeah,
Anyway,
Ellie's back here. I'm like, she's not the oldest one. She's the second oldest girl, but she plays with him all day long.
yeah,
Which
it's
is
so
good.
funny how they are.
Because Thor would just as soon be in the house, and so would Mandy. So they're my lazy two, and then they'll go out. White Rabbit is here, and she is driving.
Be careful, White Rabbit.
Yes,
Big
please.
dog. Yeah, be
Because you're
very
awesome.
careful.
You're beautiful and awesome, and we want you safe.
Yeah, we do. We want her back home. So, we've had a very interesting weekend, to say the least.
Good or
So,
bad, or neither. Just interesting.
Horrible. Our weekend's been horrible.
Yeah, as you know, mine could have gotten today could have been better, but like I said, chocolate milk fixes everything, right?
Chocolate milk is awesome. I'm gonna have some later.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate fixes. I don't remember the last time I had chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Milk doesn't. I know milk doesn't like me, so I like it, but it doesn't.
Well,
like me,
this is
so.
a local dairy farm, so it's not quite got as much
yummy.
lactose in it as you would as like a store milk.
Yeah.
It's that old fashioned made with cream one, you know. So it's almost like a milkshake.
Real milk.
Yeah, so
real
it's like a milk. It's thick like a milkshake. Yeah.
Where
So-
is this place?
Hmm?
I mean, don't tell me what the place is, but like, I did not know there was a place like that.
Yeah,
now I
you can
know
go
in-
to Hendersonville Produce and get it here.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, you do.
Nah, I don't know.
It's about
Is it
Next to the
6
Chick-fil-A.
No, but it's 7 red lights down from where you used to live on the left. So it's close.
Oh, I love your directions, Tish.
7
I
red
just
lights down
understand
on the
them.
left.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I lived on a
Ugh.
couch.
Yeah.
I still
But yeah,
do.
my grandmother's not
Flavor
doing
Spring.
so well right now. So
Oh, I'm so sorry.
it's okay. You know, she's been here over a century. So
Wow.
hmm
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But she's had
Yep.
some great stories to tell.
yeah, she's one of those that she's always like, all these people that say it was great back when were not there. And she's always been like, I like
love
air
that.
conditioning and I wanted to be an astronaut. So they need to shut up. They weren't there.
That
They
is
don't know
awesome.
what they were talking about. She said, everybody talks about it was better in the 40s or the 60s or the 70s. She goes, they didn't live through those. I was there. And
Oh
she
my
said,
gosh.
I like air conditioner. I like having plumbing in my house because she remembers, didn't have microwaves, didn't have plumbing in her house, didn't have, air conditioner, grew up on a farm,
Yeah.
all the things. And she's like, I get it. There are good things now and there are better things then, but people talk like it was this Shangri-La. It wasn't. So
Easy to be romantic about the past.
when you weren't there, right? So she remembers, she lived through one of the first big flus and she was like, everybody wants to talk about what back then people did. And she goes, they don't know what they did out here. It was totally different. So they're talking about your hair expert.
Yeah. Well, I can't go to the hair guy. The real hair guy I like. He's
Why can't you go to the real one you like?
because it's White Rabbit's guy. And first of all, she wouldn't want me to go by myself because she's afraid I would say something or do something. that
Because
would
you
ruin
would
that
never do
relationship.
that, right? That would never happen.
No,
Supervised.
what would I ever do? What could I do?
Well, no.
I mean,
Did you? I
And
think
then-
Tish missed the correction fence. That he needs the correction fence.
Or she might be afraid she'd never make it home. So, I mean, just saying.
well, Anyway, yeah, it's because she's known this guy longer than we've been together. So she's like,
Ah, okay.
yeah, she's like, she was very worried about letting him cut my hair. She's like, I don't want you to like it. So
But you like it.
yeah, I do. But yeah, today's not him. So, but hopefully we'll get that fixed in a month or so. But
It doesn't
I like
look bad.
I like crafting
Thank you.
Emily's suggestion.
Frosted Tips, you want that? I'll
Why
do it.
not?
Why not? You know what I do is like a reverse mohawk.
Ah, yeah.
Just go straight down the middle.
No.
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 Or how about
I'm
I
gonna
do
say
my
no
hair
on that
like
one.
I'll do my hair like Tennessee orange. That'd be cool.
Would it?
Yeah. Yeah. Why would it be?
You could do gold and black for Vanderbilt. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Because there's no way he would do that. You're
How many
either
Vanderbilt-
Vanderbilt or you're Tennessee here, so you know.
How many Vanderbilt students does it take to just screw in a light bulb?
Oh boy.
Oh no. How many?
One.
time for me
They
to
hold
leave?
it up and they wait for the world to revolve around them.
Oh wow.
That
You
is
leave now?
actually pretty close to accurate from
Yeah, it's
people
not
I
a
know.
joke. It's
No,
a
it's
true
not. It
observation.
sounds like a joke, but it's not really a joke.
No, I know. Man, one night I was out playing trivia and it was some Vanderbilt law students. And
Oh, that
I-
should have been fun.
yeah, they're idiots.
Was that like your
And-
Goodwill Hunting moment?
I've never seen that movie.
Well, long
Uh-huh.
story short, he gets around some pretty elite college students. He's the janitor, and he mops the floor with them with everything he knows. So,
Well, I think I made a couple of them cry because
well, that's
Uh,
not hard. Never mind. Yes.
Yeah,
How did you make them cry?
because I was like, so who here wants to talk about criminal law? Or yeah, because they all have to be corporate lawyers.
Corporate
because they got
lawyers.
so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got so much into
Yeah.
law school. And they're all going to go out, and I had one say, "I'll never see inside a courtroom." And I became a lawyer. It's like my favorite class was criminal law. How did you know that? Like I took it as an elective even. It's so interesting, so fascinating. The constitutions and every question. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're like, "But I'll never do a DUI case." And I was like, "Boy, you sure do feel smart now, don't you?"
My dad used to tell me he was a CPA for the money, did wills and divorces for some extra money, and did criminal law for fun because it was like playing chess.
Yeah, if like a lot of attorneys have wills and divorces, just as like it's a when you get into it and you just kind of if it's a simple one, and that's all
Are you
about.
kidding? I used to type them by the time I was like 11.
Yeah, see,
So
there you go.
it's like, as long they can be pretty simple for the most part.
Oh, I need to ask you about another guy in Nashville. It's a lawyer. Long time ago. He's retired now, but
There's a lot of those.
yeah, he was known as the king of the quickies in divorce law. Like they evidently there was a
Wasn't Alexander,
news-
was it?
Lamar Alexander?
No,
No, I don't know.
Dan Alexander. People called him that too.
No. What about Memphis? Hold on, what happened in Memphis? I'm from Memphis.
Something always happens in Memphis, unfortunately.
Oh, the Memphis cops, man. I'll tell you what, I've not followed
Oh,
that one.
yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
followed that. I haven't followed Idaho. I haven't followed LSU.
All I know about them is they pled not guilty.
I saw a great YouTuber. America Justice Warrior is the guy's name. And a guy from Good Logic. He was like, "Oh, hey,
Joe.
I watch this guy." Yeah, he's like, "I watch this guy all the time." He's like, "You guys really need to go subscribe." The night I subscribed, I started watching every video he's ever made. He's really that good. And he did one on the Memphis police situation. And he's like, before everybody jumps on this, let's talk about it. He's like, the angle everybody's worried about is the camera that's up here on the pole. and that's all you see. And then he starts breaking down. It's like, so out of the 4 cops, 2 of them have been sprayed with mace. They emptied 2 canisters of mace, and both of the cops had it affected both of them. The guy that ended up, in the hospital and everything else, he took a full blown taser shot and didn't slow him down. And in the actual cop video stuff, he shows like he was never in handcuffs the entire time. So everybody's like, when you see the on the pole, it's like, oh, that he was on the ground in handcuffs, and they were just beating him because they could. And so, I mean, this guy had it broken down so quick and so good. I was like, oh, he's great. He's great. But yeah, I don't know anything else that's happening in Memphis. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know about that case, but I can tell you, I have seen, because that's how my husband and I met was, I used to do stores loss prevention, catch shoplifter type of thing. That's how we met. But I've been down at booking and seen people that were on something that were very difficult to subdue and do a lot of more damage than you would think. So I don't know.
You, Mel.
Yay, Mel, we're glad you're there. But I don't know. I haven't followed that much. It changes colors. It changes colors.
So you met him through loss prevention.
Yes. So
like a movie.
Yeah. Well, kind of. The first time I met him, I was breaking up
in the back room.
First time I met him, I was breaking up a fight, and he wasn't sure if I was fighting or breaking the fight up. And then the second time, I had a guy in my store that was stolen a bunch of electronics, and he knew I'd caught him. I just wanted him gone. So Mark was working an extra job at the mall, had him come in. The guy left. We started talking. The third time I had a deal because I had a guy arrested that had a cast on, and I didn't happen to have leg shackles on me. So he kind of helped me with that. So that's how we met. Was through that job. So rest is kind of history.
No, how's it going next? Is like, so what you doing tonight?
I don't He asked me out to go to lunch and then got sick, and we ended up talking all night long when he was sick. So just kind of went from there. So had our first anniversary in a graveyard, which was fun. So that was my hint that it was not going to be boring. Yeah, we had our first anniversary in a graveyard.
By choice?
No, he was on call. And of course, I said that phone's about to ring, and it rang. And they had some people break into some temporary entombments in the cemetery and remove some caskets. And that's how we spent our first anniversary. And I knew things were not going to be boring from there on out. And they have not been.
Wait, y'all were removing caskets?
No, just
that's
two
kind
kids
of an
were.
exciting story.
2 kids were, yeah. And they called him because
family
the reason that they called him was because the guy's leg was missing, and they thought that might be a burglary.
Huh?
They didn't know who to give it to or who to call. So that's where we ended up, was dealing with that.
The person in the casket's leg was missing?
Yes. His leg was missing. They had opened it and apparently gotten sick from opening it, because I'll spare what that's like. But yeah, they thought his leg was missing. So they called Mark because they're like, this is a burglary because something was missing. So that's how he got the case. And that's where we spent our anniversary. Needless to say, we did not go to dinner that night, but that's how we spent the first anniversary.
Miami Spice needs to start dating a cop.
Why do you think this?
I said I was never going to do that. I said I was never going to date a cop, let alone marry one. I wasn't going to date one. I wasn't, because I've grown up around cops. I wasn't going to date a lawyer either. No offense, but I grew up around all of that. But they're just, something about him. And we've been married, 25 years now. So.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Does it ever happen?
Actually, now that I say that out loud, I think it's 25 this year.
Oh,
he can tell you. Wow. I can't ever tell. I'm not the one that can remember our anniversaries and birthdays and all that. He's the one that remembers all of that better than I do.
But, are y'all planning on spending it in another graveyard?
No. I think we're going to skip that this year.
Okay.
So
that is so crazy.
Yeah.
Was it something that happened often, or it was just something random? Like, 'cause
Oh,
sometimes
there's all kinds of. In fact, I've got one story on my channel about how a dog helped him catch some burglars because they thought this random dog that showed up was a police dog. It wasn't. So I've got one of the stories. He actually wrote a book that is used in some police classes, but some of it's hilarious. Some of it's the stories are sad, but a lot of the stories are hilarious.
your husband wrote a book?
With his brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that like just a book, an entertainment book, or a book
About
a
police
teaching book?
stories. About police stories. It's not in print anymore, but they used to use it in some of the police academies. But called Music City Blues. But on my channel, I've got a story about how they thought that the dog was a police dog, and so they came out and gave up when it wasn't a police dog. It was just a random dog wanting attention. So there's some funny stories in that. So yeah.
That is crazy.
The only thing is, like Great Dane Mom said, being with somebody in law enforcement is interesting, and it is, except for when there's something major, like when 2000 hit. Of course, everybody thought the world was going to come to an end. Of course, he's watching a water tower, right? And I'm by myself with the kids. So there's good and bad, but overall, it's been interesting. He makes it fun.
Why was he watching a water tower?
They had
Was
some
he gonna leave?
intelligence that people were going to try to do things to it. So they put him and somebody else on it. They didn't try, but you never know what threat's going to be real, right? So he
Well,
spent
you're
the
in a-
entire night babysitting a water tower.
Well, in a small town like that's a water tower is where you profess your love.
And draw it on the water tower. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the paint that he does for Tish in Tennessee? What color is it? John Deere green. That's a
He
big
wouldn't
one.
do that. No, it would be blue. I'm sorry. It would not be
There you
John
go.
Deere green. It would be blue.
Love it.
It would
So,
be
I mean,
blue.
Tish in Tennessee, I love you. And
You
then
know
one of the
what? That-
words are misspelled.
The words are misspelled. Yeah, maybe it wasn't really that people misspelled. Maybe they were just in the forefront of texting. Because we abbreviate everything now, right?
Yes,
Everything
we
else
talk
in
in
there's a
text.
misspell.
Yeah, maybe it was talking in code. Or maybe it was so that in case it really changed that person, then they had room to be able to paint over the name and make the name be something else. Kind of like if you
Kinda like
tattoo
a-
a name on, right? Then you
That's
got
what
to
I was
turn it
gonna
into
say.
something else. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I
Uh,
always told my son, I'm like, do not tattoo anyone's name on your body except for mom.
I think the difference between, I don't know, I'd have to look that up, but I would think archaeology versus grave robbing means, you find it, archaeology, you find it under something, meaning it's not like you walk into a cemetery and you break into a crypt, which is what these people did.
Was it an old grave?
Yeah, it's one of Nashville's oldest cemeteries, is what they went into.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah.
Was the leg ever recovered?
Turns out there was a mistake. He actually wasn't buried with it to start with.
Oh
He
my
had a wooden.
gosh.
He had a. Yeah. So
Tish, you have the best stories.
yeah. So he actually wasn't buried with it to start with. They just thought it was. It was because they got a hold of the relatives, of course, and they were like, no, he didn't have a leg. So she's like, I come on in here to say they didn't have a leg. What the heck?
well, they don't have a leg to stand on. It was
They
Santa
didn't have a leg
Ana.
to stand on. Yeah. Yeah.
What a false alarm. That's quite a
Yeah.
false alarm. Just kidding.
Yeah,
there
so
was a
that's how we
break-in.
spent time, and of course, the local press was there. It was a big deal, and he told me not to look about 10 seconds after I looked. So let's just say, and the whole time I'm thinking, why is this not bothering me? Because this should be bothering me. What I just saw, and I'm thinking this is weird. I mean, I wasn't quite eating Egg McMuffins like some of the other cops were there, but I thought it didn't bother me. 2 weeks later, I get this thought picture in my head. I can't get it out. So it was like a delayed hit, but it was funny,
That's
but not funny, if that makes sense. So yeah,
it does.
What's Egg McMuffins?
you know what an Egg McMuffin is.
Yeah, they're
Some of the
tasty.
cops were eating their breakfast while they were there at the
Oh.
gravesite. I wasn't quite doing that because they had
Oh.
set it on fire. So
Oh,
the story keeps getting more and more interesting.
wait, so they go to this graveyard. Where do they find the coffin? They dig it up?
the coffins were in some temporary entombments, and they had probably been there about 15, 16 years waiting on the bigger mausoleum to be built. So they pulled 2 caskets
years?
out, at least, yeah. They pulled 2 caskets out, got one of them open, and set it on fire. But what they weren't anticipating probably is what that's going to do. And you can tell where they got sick, and they never got the second casket open. So.
Yeah, it's going to smell really bad.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very disgusting.
Yes.
Were they Satanists? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're all
they
like
were they were trying to reenact some movie that they'd seen.
Oh,
Faces of Death.
Something. Yeah, they were trying to do the same thing that they had seen in a movie, and needless to say, they couldn't quite go through with it. So, but then they called Mark because they thought, I mean, it's not a murder, right? Because they're already dead. It could be trespassing, except for it was during the day when it was open. So when the leg was missing, then they're like, oh, it's a burglary. So they called him because he was in the burglary unit at the time. So that's how we ended up spending. I think
they knew that he had a hot date that night, and they're like, "Oh, let's harass him."
Well, it was not. It was 9:00 in the morning, so I don't know. We were out there until about 5. We did not go to dinner.
Wait,
that
9:00
night.
in the morning, he calls you up and goes, "Hey, babe, it's our anniversary. I got something to show you."
He had taken the day off.
Yeah.
He had taken the day off, but he was on call, and they called him to come down there, and he was like, "You want to go?" And I said, "Well, yeah." So I went, not thinking about it. And
that's where the truth comes in.
Probably should have passed, but yeah. So it was interesting.
Holy cow!
Yeah, Eric just said, "Meet me at the graveyard and don't forget the breakfast." There were a lot. They were all eating their breakfast while all of this is going on. While Dee Dee is looking at it, and I'm thinking, how are you doing this with all of this mess? So yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to get a leg up.
So, but Mark did find who did it. I mean, he found them, and again, they were trying to reenact some movie scene. I think they thought it was going to summon something. I don't know. You know how stupid kids in Tennessee can be, and I'm a kid from Tennessee, so I can say that. So
with authority.
With authority.
With authority.
With authority and a little experience. So yeah.
Yamaha Biker says abuse of a corpse. What did they end up getting charged with?
I would have to ask him because I can't remember. Something along those lines, though. And then arson, because I set it on fire. They loaded him up on several charges. I don't know if they got convicted or not. I don't know that I ever remember. This was years ago. Hearts on fire.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So, did y'all have dinner that night instead?
No. Needless to say, we had reservations at Ruth Chris, which was hard to get, but we did not go. I was not in the mood to go. So, yeah. Or the next night.
You may have been stupid, but not digging up the dead stupid.
That's right. True. But they were trying to do some ritual they'd seen on TV or movie.
Crazy. It's kids.
Yeah, but I mean, how does that conversation get? Let's go try to get out of the cemetery and pull out bodies and try to bring the souls back or whatever. But
I don't know. But now now I'm like, man, all those things my mom didn't want me to watch. I see why. Holy
Thought you might go try it? Yeah.
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 It's the crazy thing. Talking about that and is I don't know why this just popped in my head. So White Rabbit and I forget where we were. Somewhere, maybe just on the road. Driving around town, and go up to a stoplight, and here is pickup truck, and I look over. I'm like, hey babe. I was like, what's that dude got in the back of his truck there? He has the tailgate down. She looks over, she goes, is that a coffin? I was like, yeah, I think it is. I think it
Oh.
is. And it was a dug up, out of the ground coffin in the back of this pickup truck. And we've got pictures of it too, somewhere she does. And I'm like, yeah, you don't see that every day. I was like, welcome to Tennessee.
Welcome to Tennessee.
Yeah, I was like, they
just
sold the
moving
farm.
grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sold the farm. Just like, oh well, we gotta move grandma somewhere now. We've got a lot of those family farm plots. Around
Yeah,
here.
a ton. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
interesting
like,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, and the like you don't sell that part when it was the rest of it. It's like the family continues to own that, and you have to have a right of way to it and everything else. And they have to like if they want it to be moved, they have to get a court order. It's
It's a big deal here to move. Yeah.
yeah, it is.
But if you think about it, and for you and Div's
Gret's how you know.
paranormal thing, there's pretty significant paranormal stories and ghost stories and witch stories all over Tennessee. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
as far as like the I'm on the list to stay in a haunted room in Union Station Hotel when it comes open to give that a try. But there's a lot of places around here that people see ghosts and of course Bell Witch area and all of that.
I think that's something with like all over the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a holdover from Civil War. It seems like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of that stuff is. I don't understand why the Civil War was such a haunted war. It goes from fields, where battles were, to houses. It's weird, especially if there's any old places. I mean, I know like Memphis is really bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's haunted in Memphis. It's I don't know. It's weird.
Part of like
It's a very
Greenville,
southern thing.
Tennessee is like that too, which is further east.
Mhm.
There's a lot of places. So, yeah.
Greenville, Tennessee. There's a cannonball stuck in a Baptist church
No, I'm not
left over
surprised
from the
though.
Civil War.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a couple blocks down from Andrew Johnson's
My husband was actually born there. So,
in Greenville.
Mhm.
Greenville is the second largest county in the state of Tennessee.
Really?
Shelby County is the only county larger.
By population? Or
No, by size.
I was like, I don't think by
miles.
population. I was
No,
gonna
by
say
square miles.
I was gonna say if somebody said that I want to hear the recount because
No, it's all square miles. No, there's only like 30,000 people there.
yeah. No, there's a
Yeah.
room in the Union Station Hotel, which used to be the train station.
Mhm.
Back in the day, it's room 711 that's supposedly haunted, because of a young lady that tends to haunt it. So you got to get on. You can stay in the room, but you got to get on the list. So I'll probably get it in a year or so or two. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting.
I didn't know that was a hotel.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be
There's a
Nashville's
bar.
train hub, but the ghost's name is supposedly Abigail. So that'll be, which is a proper Southern name.
There's a bar there. I know that.
There is a bar. Yep.
Like I forget what the name of that place was.
Mm,
It's like you
I
got
can't
your
remember.
own mug or something there.
yeah.
I don't know. They're fibbing the Baptist didn't exist before. I don't know. It might be Methodist or Presbyterian. It's something.
Now they call it. I don't know what they
know.
used to call it, but now they call it. I think now they call it the Grand Hall Bar. Is what they call it now.
Oh, that sounds nice. No, what I'm talking about, it was
Before it was a hole in the wall.
one step above a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think it's funny everybody moves into, was it the, what's that awful place in Nashville now? It's all trendy.
East Nashville.
No. What is it? Starts with a G.
Starts
Is
at
that next to the
Goliceville.
Capitol? No, it's next to the Capitol.
A city or a
No,
gulch?
it's a community. Yeah, the Gulch.
The Gulch.
The Gulch.
Yeah, the
I
Gulch.
think it's funny that people move in there. I'm like, you idiots. I'm like, this is a floodplain right here.
Yeah,
this
and
is
not
where-
only is it a floodplain, it's also, you're paying $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom 500 square feet rental to have to step over people who tend to want to cause problems every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Gulch.
yeah. That's where uh, Nashville syphilis hospital was during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this whole place is infected, man. It's all a biohazard area.
Yep.
And like when it floods, man, it's like you get snakes and everything else over here, rats and snakes and everything. Like, you
And
guys are
everything.
idiots. It's like, oh yeah, the Gulch is so great. I'm like, no, it's not. It's horrible.
No, it's not.
It's a
And
dump.
it's expensive. One of my cousin's kids used to live down there. And I'm like,
Yeah,
good
it's so
grief.
funny, man. I'm like, gosh, you guys all got ripped off.
And actually, the 2,500 she was paying was only for hers.
Oh,
It was $5
Lost
grand.
Miami.
$5 grand for a 2-bedroom apartment in the Gulch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
man.
why? Miami, come back. I don't think she meant to leave.
The Gulch is where you squat. So fitting.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
Yes. Shizzy, for all you northerners, the South is all the bad things you think it is. Banjos and firearms, best to stay where you are. It's true.
Except, yeah, I'll agree. Except people think, and I get teased about this all the time, about everyone here has a
We don't
cowboy
want Yankees
hat,
here.
cowboy boots.
No,
No,
that's Texas.
no, it's Nashville. When people come here,
No.
all the tourists have cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and they look
Yeah,
like they just
Tennesseans
walked
don't
off
wear
the.
that.
They walked off the stage at the Grand Ole Opry, and we do not wear that.
No, work boots maybe.
Work,
But, like,
yeah, okay, work
you know,
boots, but
Yeah,
We don't
and
all
a
have
baseball
cows.
cap. No,
we don't all have cows.
No, it's yeah.
Well, and
that's
it doesn't
stupid.
help when unfortunately, people get hit by, say, tornadoes. They'll find the more stereotypical Appalachian area person to interview.
That's
and
how
I'm like,
That's how everybody is here.
like,
we don't
okay,
want
no.
Yankees do not need to move here and help us. No, we are very cousin happy. Barefoot and cousin
Is
happy.
that what we say? Okay, cousin
Whatever
happy.
it takes. Whatever it takes.
Cousin happy, yeah.
Yeah, to keep them out.
Texas doesn't exist according to the expert.
Yeah, I'm not so
Yeah.
sure it does. Eggy, what's up? There you go. That's something. Yeah, Texas. Yeah, well, it's Tennessee's Australia.
Yeah,
We sent
there
our
you go.
undesirables there.
There you go. Everybody go to Texas instead of Tennessee because we're kind of full.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We need to get some people from Tennessee to go to Texas. What's funny is that Davy Crockett was not a well-liked character when he went to Texas
No, not at all.
because Andrew Jackson and him hated each other, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the whole fallout. And it's like, oh well, I'm going to go to Texas. Him and Sam Houston and Tennessee stayed with.
To be fair, though, a lot of people
Paul
didn't get
Penn.
along with Jackson. So,
No, nobody did, especially if you're
I
an
mean,
Indian.
yeah. At least now, if you go to the Hermitage, they're a little more candid about everything versus, he's the Pope and reincarnated as it was before.
Well, I mean, isn't he?
No.
You know what I was so amazed about was I didn't know that
ID Crisis
Jacksonville-
said, well, you took the Oilers. What else? And we tried to run them as the Oilers the first year, the Tennessee Oilers. That went over
Yeah.
like a lead balloon.
they were
Like,
in Memphis too.
yeah, it's like, no.
I didn't know Jacksonville was named after Andrew Jackson until
you
and
not
I lived
know?
there. Yeah, I
How
didn't
did you
till I
not know
saw it.
that?
They didn't teach me that in Tennessee history.
Okay.
But Florida had a Seminole problem,
Mhm.
and so Andrew Jackson went down there and he settled it. So that's what Andrew Jackson was known for.
He's known for a lot of
Purple,
things.
how are you doing?
Hey, Purple.
Purple comes in the same time ID Crisis does. Trouble is brewing somewhere tonight.
Mhm.
Purple, I hope you're feeling better, still or doing well. Purple the other day was in her kitchen and she said the next thing she knew, she woke up, she was on the floor and went to the
Oh, no.
ER, had a concussion. Yeah, is that not
I hope
awful?
you're okay.
Yeah.
Texas Jen says that she doesn't own a
gosh.
horse or a cow.
She lives in Texas.
Hmm.
Purple, I hate to hear you're not doing that great.
Man, I
That
hope you
sucks. Yeah.
definitely so.
Sage Forensics, how are you doing? I graduated high school in Tennessee. I'm barely in Kentucky now. Doesn't that let me come back, please?
Depends
Yeah,
on
she
which high
probably.
school you. Well, it depends on which high school you graduated from in Tennessee, though.
Well, she probably isn't that far from you if she's barely in Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky's like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe that. I was like, man, I'm almost in Kentucky. I felt weird. Cause like like Knoxville to get to Kentucky, you gotta take I-75 north, and
North, yeah.
it's a strange drive. It's the strangest drive on the interstate I've ever. It's like you get outside of I don't know, like maybe like 20 miles outside Knoxville, and all of a sudden it's like, where am I?
It
It's the
can't be.
mountains
It's
like you've
not as
never
bad
seen.
though as like Jackson to Memphis though. Jackson to Memphis has to be the most boring drive in
You
the
can
state.
see like all the way in
It's like
Jackson, you can see
everything's
all the way to
just
Memphis.
flat, and there's nothing
Yes.
else other than state troopers on the side of the road. That's
It
it.
is like volcanic mountains, though. When you get north of Knoxville, I was like, where'd all this come from? And it's
Yeah.
like you have no cell phone service the whole time. It's always
No,
foggy.
no, always
It's
foggy.
crazy.
Never have
Yes.
cell phone service. It's like the start of
Oh,
every horror movie, right?
yeah, absolutely, it is. That scares
Yeah.
me. I don't like her. Where did we lost Miami Spice? She is gone.
She'll come back.
Uh,
I hope. What's really funny is how different the three parts of the state are. Because East
Well,
is different than Middle, Middle's different than Memphis.
I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think there's more than 3 parts.
Well,
Because it's like
technically,
Upper
yeah.
East and
There's more like-
Chattanooga are very, very different.
There's more like 6, but yeah.
Yeah, it's 6. And then there's
I think the Gatlinburg to White Pine, well, Gatlinburg to Greenville, Morristown, that's kind of its own little thing too.
yeah, Morristown. I didn't realize Morristown's just like it's weird. Like
You're
the
stepping back in time in a lot of ways in Morristown.
and the population there is it's
Mhm.
not like it's tiny, but it's you're stepping back in time.
It's tiny, but it's not small, which is a weird way to say it, but yeah.
Oh, look at this. Here you go. This is Sage Forensic. My dad was at Fort Campbell, so I'm an Army brat. He was a captain chaplain. I also lived in Memphis. Fraser. No kidding. That's where my family's from. Ah, boy. Yeah, we know everybody here now. I cannot believe somebody came on my chat and said Fraser.
Fraser? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Man, I just feel
At Tish, Kentucky, Shizzy said Kentucky is not hell, but you can see it from there.
who said that?
Shiz said Kentucky is not hell, but you can see it from there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. Lexington's nice.
Lexington's not bad. Bowling Green
Louisville.
is getting better. It used to be not fantastic, but it's getting better. Downtown Gatlinburg, anywhere makes you want to drive into cars and people and crowds. Yeah, if you want to go to Gatlinburg to see kind of the old Gatlinburg, when you come in through the spur, make a left, and that's where all of the people that used to have shops down in Gatlinburg, Maine, are. It's on like a 12-mile circle. So if you want to see the old people that used to be there, the old artisans, that kind of thing, you want to turn left instead of turning towards the aquarium up by the post office. They've all moved out to that street. Chattanooga is where Georgians go to see their family tree.
Isn't that funny?
And if they
yeah,
can't find them there, then they go to Cleveland, Tennessee.
Chattanooga's
So-
a suburb, of course, of Atlanta. Yeah, Sevier County is weird in and of
Yeah.
itself. It's got Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Sevierville.
Yeah.
I go to Sevierville because I like the Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Yeah.
And Bud's Gun Store is next door to that.
Next door to that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where that's as far as I go.
I'm going to show my
yeah.
age, but I remember when Pigeon Forge only had like 2 or 3 hotels, let alone craziness.
Here's that.
Especially during Rod Run in September, you can't move when you go there. Don't ever go. I think it's like September 13th this year. Don't go, if you want to drive anywhere, don't go. But if you can get back by Teaster Lane, you can get around the main drag. So that's not too bad. I went to Fraser
Yeah.
Academy of Christian
fun.
Education for elementary school.
I thought you talked right when I first found your channel. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Is that good
Yeah,
or bad?
Fraser Academy of Christian Education. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that is. But my yeah, I actually have that's where my family was from.
It's
Where
from.
the Yeah, that's where my grandparents lived there and for a while before moving out.
Yeah, my
So,
dad's family's from Cookville. My mom's family's from Hendersonville. Severe was beautiful. All I want to do is get back to the cabin. Screw down. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
just be careful you don't end up in Cincinnati. It gets worse
Gets worse,
further
doesn't it?
north.
and you know what's funny about like Cookville, Putnam County? That's where you hear the real country twang. And my dad lost that on purpose, but now that he's getting older,
coming
sometimes I
back.
can't understand what he's saying
That's awesome.
because it comes back in. I'm like, what did you just say?
Um,
Yeah, I need a
Putnam
translator.
County is what amazes me is that Tennessee Tech is there, which
Mhm.
is a incredible engineering school.
Yeah, people come from all over the
And
world.
yeah, and I was just
Yeah.
like I was so amazed by that. And but you don't, I don't know,
Of course, it
I
used to
don't
be
think
just
of
a
it.
farm town, right? It up until I want to say Money Magazine called it the 13th best place to live, and then now it's not necessarily the same. But yeah, that's where my dad's family's from.
Yeah, Cokeful. Let's see here.
About an hour and a half from here. Well, the way I drive, it's an hour and a half from
The
here.
way
But
you
the way my
drive.
dad drives, it's 2.5 hours from here.
Uh oh.
But yeah,
Uh oh. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What do you go through like Lebanon and all that and come out on
Mhm.
I-40 on the far end? Yeah,
Yep, Lebanon, and then past the Love Shack
the
on
Love
the
Shack.
interstate.
It's awesome.
There's actually a Love Shack on the interstate going from Nashville to Cookville. It's a huge store.
It is. It is so true. So true. Uh, yeah. See, the last time I can think of like Cookville. I know we went.
Probably
I
went
just
for a
haven't been.
game.
I haven't been down there in a long time. That's my problem. I haven't been down.
You would not. So I used to know my way around there completely. Like I could get anywhere. Now I get there and I'm like, because I used to use just different mile markers or different places, but now I don't know anything. Nice case for spelunking. Yes, it does.
I have never been at a cave. Excuse me. I've never been
When
in a
you
Tennessee
you
cave.
and Rabbit were gonna go to Adams, weren't you?
Yeah, that's
October, because
yeah.
there's more than just the Bell Witch Cave there in that county. There's several counties. I will not go back in the Bell Witch Cave after my experience with it, but
Yeah, I'm thinking I shouldn't go.
you should go if you've never been. You should go.
I did 8th school for part of elementary, part of high school, depending on where we're living at the time. You know, private Christian schools are different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went to Memphis public schools.
I went to a private Christian school here, elementary school, and then went to public schools
What's the one my buddy went to? It was it's,
in Nashville.
yeah, it's over at
Good Pasture.
he's Lebanon.
Uh,
It's Church of Christ.
Good Pasture Church of Christ. I don't know of one in Lebanon.
Or,
I know of one in
somewhere around there.
Madison.
He's from Lebanon, and
Yeah, I know of one in Madison, but not Lebanon. I'd have to look that up. Sage. I never went to the Bell Witch Caves, but I know about the stories. Yeah, I went and ended up getting the equivalent of a couple buckets of water dumped on my head. No, thank you. I will not be back.
that's so crazy.
It's
That's so
freezing.
crazy.
Freezing. And no,
Where did the water come from?
I don't know. Now, the second floor, there used to be 3 floors of the cave, and they
Mhm.
don't let you get past the first one now because the second had some cave-ins. So I'm sure it came from the top down somewhere, but no one else got doused. And the guide was like, "What happened?" So looked genuinely shocked. So I don't think they staged it. I think it was just, I don't know.
Oh,
All I
wow.
know is I was freezing and I was mad and I wanted to go home.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna figure out this summer.
yeah,
We're gonna
if y'all come, yell.
It's gonna be a good
Um,
time.
Yeah. Now, if you come though, and you're going to come to there, you want to come in October because they have the festival, and you can go to the original house site and the graveyard. You can't go there during the day, sure. You have to go at
Can you
night.
not go during summertime?
You can. Just October is a better time to go. Now, there's some
Oh.
interesting people that come there too in October, but yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
can.
October's football season.
That's true.
See, I got
That's true.
Tennessee football.
Yeah.
That's my
The
problem.
guides that they have are amazing. I mean, they're good, not just for the Bell Witch itself, but just the history of the whole area.
Mhm.
The guy that we had, I cannot remember his name. I need to figure that out. He was studying to be a history professor, but he was amazing. They know their stuff.
Yeah, man, all that stuff. Yeah. I don't know. You're making me want to. Well, here's what we need to do. We need to like do like how we're doing like right now, but we need to be like, okay, so let's find out about this, and because like you like the haunted Tennessee thing. That's something I
Yeah.
should know more about.
There's a lot more than people think. I mean,
Yeah.
there's places in Gallatin. There is Bellevue Mansion. I mean, there's all kinds of places that are rumored to be haunted here.
Hey Georgia, how you doing?
I have a friend
Um,
that's what she does. She'll go on, like her vacations are spent going to haunted places in Tennessee just because.
oh wow, what's the deal with railroad trestles? Why are those always supposedly haunted?
I don't know. Maybe
You
because so many
know?
people didn't come home on them or jumped from them, or I don't know.
Well, it's like like the tunnels for some reason.
Hmm.
Now, okay, I have heard. I don't know if this is true. I don't know how unilateral this is either. But if somebody died while building the railroad, when they would build the trestle, they packed the bodies in there. And
Possible.
the
Very
trestle was like,
possible.
yeah, it was because of
Yeah.
like the concrete and everything over there. And
Yeah.
because a lot of stuff in like East Tennessee, I mean, it's like 1900. That's when it was
Yeah.
built.
I think because
Uh,
just, a lot of those places that were dated and there's not as much Civil War hauntings in Tennessee, yes, from Sage Forensics, but a lot of those places are still open and there, if that makes sense, versus paved over and something else built on top of it. So, because you still got, the rail tracks that are used, and they're talking about using them for, because Nashville's so crowded now and traffic's so bad, they're talking about trying to use the railways again to move people around. But yeah, a lot of Civil War hauntings.
oh, Sandra Ramirez is here.
Hello.
So yeah, she said she was in your chat and said that she was going to. Was it you were talking about? She's genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
Is what she wants to do, and I was like, yeah, hey, if you need any help or anything, let me know.
It's actually
I'd be
really
happy
good. I
to.
mean, we did a stream together a month and a half ago or so. I think she was one of my first or second streams, and she was talking to a lot of people about, how to research, how to find credible information on where you're from, which is kind of
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that's like genealogy. I don't know. I don't want to know anything. I'm like, may not
I
have the
like it.
best luck there. Yeah, Yamaha biker they did with the Great Wall of China just made him part of the wall. That's what I
Yeah.
think they did with these railroads. I don't know the truth behind that. And
I
that's
have
what I want to
heard
find out.
that all of my life. Whether or not
Oh,
that's
have you
accurate or
really?
not, I'm not sure, but I have heard that because where my grandparents lived, which I lived with them for a long time, the train tracks were like the distance between my house now and my mailbox. That's how close the tracks were.
Oh wow.
And she would talk about the ghost of the tracks quite a bit. And she was half Cherokee, so um, she would talk about all of that back then. I wish I had asked more questions about stuff like that, but I was too young to ask questions before. Is my mom's mom.
Oh sorry. Yeah, the flip side of the coin is lots of people are going to places playing Ghostbusters. Some mischievous entities will be drawn up by that energy.
Well, and people
No.
too, they go in and they destroy a lot of things too, which trying to
Yeah, like
film
the
something
kids
and
with the
trying to make
coffin.
it be something, you know.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you got me thinking. I got a lot of stuff I got to work on. This paranormal stuff with Divinity is she's wanted to do that for a long time. White Rabbit and her started talking, and that's how we got the first one going. And me, I'm not a paranormal person. I don't like that stuff.
So I
So
know that I have seen things and experienced things myself that make me. I think a lot of things we see on just television stories and all that is a bunch of garbage, but I've seen enough things that I know that there's things I don't understand, and I'm always curious about it.
yeah, I lived in a house that was haunted
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, and it was across from a graveyard, which was always great.
Of course.
And this is when I lived in Maryville, and yeah, I can't believe that.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this house supposedly was Maryville College was a girls' dorm for Maryville
Mm-hmm.
College, real old house, and anyway, like weird stuff always happened in there, and I mean I was terrified the entire time. Oh, and
You
we
were
only lived.
See, I was the opposite. So my grandmother's house had dated back 100 years. It's not there now, right beside the railroad tracks. We used to have things like my grandfather, after he was gone, um, his work boots, you could hear them moving and they'd be at the top of the steps versus the bottom of the steps. And it'd be just me and her there. But it never worried me. And you would see lights and stuff outside near the train tracks that didn't really make sense. So I mean, I don't know.
That's-
It didn't
yeah,
scare me.
that's
And of course like I said, she was half Cherokee, very religious, but also very spiritual. She um a lot of stories from that house. I did have friends that were afraid to stay there overnight, but I was never afraid of it. Ryman opened in summertime. Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. Yes, I do remember when it reopened.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I haven't been to the location downtown. I need to go. It's so funny when you live somewhere that you don't go to the places people beeline to when they come into town, right?
Yeah, so yeah, when I lived in Portland, it's like went to Seattle, and it's gonna go. My mom wanted to go up in the Space Needle, and we're there like the one day. It was like a bad storm, and the elevator cables
Mm-hmm.
were whipping. Like you could hear them snapping. I was like, I don't want to go up that. I don't want to do it. So I made it to like the base of the Space Needle. Always wanted to go to see Jimi Hendrix's grave. Wanted to go to the Boeing Museum. It's like I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go sometime. Never went.
Never
And so
went,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, yeah, it's like you gotta do that stuff. You gotta be a tourist in your own
Like the
town.
Country Music Hall of Fame is where everybody wants to. I've never been. I've driven past it. That's about as. And I'm trying to do more things here, but I've driven past it. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, but see, like I don't like country music, so
I
that
don't like
doesn't
country
bother me.
music, but people are always asking me about it. I'm like, I don't know if it's good or not. I mean, and they have more people that are not country. Like they had a Dolly Parton exhibit recently that would have been cool to go to, but
You get that at
never went.
Dollywood.
Yeah, true.
I'd rather go to Dollywood.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
I don't know. Well, hey, listen, we've been doing this for 2 hours, so
Yes.
it's
I was about to
Sunday.
say I'm about to jump
cut
off.
it off. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we'll get.
Well, thanks
You
for
know,
having me on.
hey, thanks for
Always a
coming
pleasure.
on. Thanks for coming. I wanted you to come on, and then after getting you and Mel over here and Miami
Yeah.
Spice until we started talking about
Left
paranormal, and
us.
she got sucked into the
She had been on mute for a little
Matrix.
bit, so I think something may have diverted her attention. So,
It's her dogs and the training fence
ah,
or whatever.
okay. Mine are being quiet right now, but that's just because they've been into crap all day long. So they have to
Oh
rest
gosh,
from being, I call them the monsters because they're always into something.
I can't believe you
Because,
have 4 boxers.
well, people ask me, actually, there are no more work. I have two older boxers, 111, 110, and then I have let's see, he's 8, and then I have the 1.5-year-old. And with two older ones, they sleep a lot, but it's no two. 4 is not harder than 2, believe it or not. It's about the same.
Yeah, well, there's more to clean up.
Not
I
that
mean,
much more. because
There's
they're
more
short
poop in
haired.
the yard.
They're short haired dogs. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
they're and I have a big enough yard, but
Oh.
that little one's about to kill me. Luckily, he's cute. So
Our
yeah.
coonhound doesn't like to go off the steps of the deck. And I'm like, I've got to come out here with a shovel
I wonder if he
and
got bit by something in the yard or something scared him though.
no, she's
Just
lazy.
stubborn. Okay.
She's just
Yeah.
lazy. She's like, hey, the fat man's gonna come out here and clean up my mess eventually. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
She
No.
knows though. Listen, all day in the car.
Mine only
tonight-
do that if there's a thunderstorm because they are not gonna. I mean, they're too dainty to get out in the
If
rain.
it snows, she thinks this is free reign. The whole deck is mine. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I yell at her. I'm like, what are you doing? And she looks at me and just runs back in. And then tonight I took her to Taco Bell. And she didn't like because she likes certain songs. One of which is Killing Strangers by Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
And she kept smacking that dash with that big old paw of hers until I played that song. And then she was calm. She was just calm as can be. And I'm like,
Isn't it funny though how they can get stuck on something? Like my little one, anytime Jessica Reloaded is on, he's
Mhm.
just like, "Oh my god, she's on." And then Thor, if Divinity's voice is anywhere, he is like front and center, glued on the
oh, it's
stream.
crazy.
It's hilarious. My girls don't care, but yeah, Loki's definitely. Anytime Jessica's on, he's like, watching it and almost talking back to her. Sometimes it's
Oh, wow.
hilarious how they'll get to where they
Wow.
like a voice or a sound or something.
Yeah,
I think
it
they're
is
smarter
weird.
than we
It
think
is
they
weird.
are. But if we
Oh, I
could read
know
their
that.
minds, we probably wouldn't like them as much. So
If I could read their, well, the coonhound would be saying bad things, and then the brown
Yeah.
dog, the Labrador,
Yeah.
he would be like, our hearts would be broken. We'd be crying because we're so mean. He'd be like, I love
right
you guys
now,
so
yeah.
much.
Why are
Why
you
won't
doing
you
this
let me
to
go?
me?
Yeah, why won't you take me for a walk?
Why
Guys,
can't
wanna
we
go
go
outside.
run? I'll be okay. I won't. I'll take it easy.
Yeah. So. Oh well. Look, Sage Forensics is true. I've had pets that love music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not like certain music, just as much as like it. Although I did lose a TV over. We were watching one of the Marvel movies. They kept saying Loki, and he kept going up to the TV like, "What?" And then finally he jumped at it when the name Loki was said. So that's how we now have a bigger TV than the 55-inch we had because he knocked it off thinking they were calling him. So he was running towards them, and
You have
Yeah.
to childproof your stuff.
yeah,
You have
basically
to,
for this one.
You have to attach it to the wall.
He's like the forget-me-not child, meaning everybody's gone, everybody's older, everything's great, and then here comes his terror. But he's cute, so it's good that he's cute. But yeah, he toppled a television after they kept saying Loki over and over again. So
Oh my gosh.
it's
that's
my
so
fault. I
awesome.
named him Loki, right? But
That's so awesome.
between Christmas
Ah.
trees and phones and TVs, and he got a hold of my husband's drill. We're in the thousands easily with this dog, but he's
I
cute.
did that. I did that with the coonhound once. Did I tell you that? That
No.
I wrote down everything that it's all my
Oh,
stuff too.
I don't want to do that. That would be depressing.
Yeah, it was. And somebody, because she's related to Smokey, the
Mhm.
Tennessee's dog, and somebody was like, "Oh, I bet that dog was expensive." And I'm like,
No.
"Yeah, you'd think so," but I wrote down everything she's destroyed. That's expensive.
Yep.
That's the expensive part. And but she's cute. And the
Remotes,
sad thing,
TVs, Christmas tree
luckily,
balls.
remote controls have been off limits, but tennis shoes gone.
Oh God, yeah, tennis shoes, work shoes, drills. My husband has a big cardboard box that's about 5 feet high. So when he's not in his office, he closes it off. I have a baby gate at the door of my office, so they can't get in here because if it's within his reach, he may not touch it, and then all of a sudden you find something destroyed. So it's like no.
Yeah, baby gates are the big thing. Well, it's tonight. Today, literally, Amazon dropped off the new router I just got, And so I was sitting here. I took it out of the box. I'm like, okay, see what I need to do. So I'll make sure this stuff works. I found it in pieces in the next room, the box. I was like, well, that lasted a while.
Yeah.
So
No.
and what's funny
no.
is that the Labrador, he loves boxes, like cardboard boxes. He would prefer to have that as a gift
Or bottles. I can't leave bottles around because if it's bottles, he's after the bottle.
Yep,
I try to
every
make sure I
bottle-
take the top off, and that little plastic off. Because that can be expensive really fast.
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah. Luckily, they've gotten to the point where I'll take the top off and the little plastic circle on there. They pop it off and then they spit it out. It's like, I don't know how they know that. I was like, okay, well, thank you.
I've given up
because-
on any toys except for Kong. I do have a subscription where they send us
Kong.
and we review the toys because they say that they're, heavy chewer proof. If they don't last over a day, so I'm like, so they started sending me after I started reviewing so much. Now they send us toys for the dogs to review, but half the time
Oh,
they end up
wow.
tearing them up completely.
The best dog toys I've ever found were children's stuffed animals.
Because they like to
for
shred them.
babies. No, like babies, like they're stronger.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
mine
because
still
the
shred
babies
'em.
can't get, if a kid
Mhm.
gets caught in them, there'll be like a recall and a lawsuit and everything else. Your dog gets caught in it, it's just going to poop it out.
You hope. You hope. Because,
Rabbit's mom, they had a German Shepherd, and evidently one time he ate a sock.
Yep, I can imagine that too.
Yeah, well, the sock came out, but it didn't come all the way out, so I had to help it. Yeah, I was like, wait a second, we just got a German Shepherd. Yeah.
Wolfkinder says, celebrate my birthday at midnight.
A quarter
So-
after midnight?
I guess saying that he was born at,
Oh, I got you.
12:15.
If you proof my
Hey,
butt.
she
Yeah,
proofed my
it
ass.
is.
Yeah, no. I mean, Kongs are pretty much all we get normally. I pretty much stick to ropes though, because I've got one that if they get a
Ropes
new
are a good
toy.
one. Crystal,
Well,
how are you doing?
Hey, Crystal. Yeah, if they're what the oldest one will do is she'll want all the toys, so she'll get them all and try to lay on top of them if they want them, so they can't get it. So, yeah. Hey, Miami Spice said, "I'm back right after the appropriate time, dog mischief." Yes, we were like, "Where'd you
Oh.
go?"
So Wolfkinder was born at 12:15. Is it tonight?
That's what it looks like. Yeah. If it is early, happy birthday or
Yeah, early happy birthday, Wolfkinder. That's awesome.
oh, New Zealand. Where is Wolfkinder though? It could already be tomorrow.
Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, never mind. It's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's somewhere
Isn't it
else. I have a
crazy how we
brother
know
there.
Stuff like that.
I know there's a lot of people. I'm like, this one. Yeah, my brother's in Pennsylvania, so that'll be easy to remember. But happy early birthday.
Yes, Wolfkinder. Happy birthday, and we'll celebrate tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be around somewhere. Tish, again, thank you for coming out here.
Absolutely.
been-
Thank you, as always.
It's been a hoot and a holler. I love it, and I don't know. We're just gonna boogie on out of here, okay?
All right. Sounds good. Bye, guys.
All
I
right.
woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got her. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.